jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports,
Yo, shout out to the hottest chat in the MF game, A-Side Official. No negotiation needed, period. You already know the link is in the chat. That link is in the chat for one person who keeps on, window shopping. I don't wanna call him a stalker. But the link is in the chat, man. You know what I'm saying? For IPADPAGER68, stop leaving comments or your ghostwriter. Stop leaving comments under my post and talking about how much time is wasted when you have wasted an insurmountable amount of time on not being right at all. And it's okay, yo. It's okay. You know what I'm saying? It's A-okay. For real, it's A-okay. I'm trying to look. You say man to man and all that other stuff, but yet they want to stay in the comfort of the cubicle, in the corner region of his dwelling. He don't want to come outside, and challenge himself. Now, it's not for a debate. I just want to see what's on his mind. I put the link in the chat because he said man to man. So if it's man to man only if I come over there to where you at, or is man to man when you come over here? Because you've been over in chat. You've been over here in the chat a once upon a time or two or three. And you have a lot to say. But you speaking on my post. And I'm saying, damn, I dropped the chat. Yes, I dropped the link yesterday. I'm dropping it right now. It's posted, pinned. You know what I'm saying? You kind of giving me the vibes like you did when I hit you up. You know what I'm saying? Like you putting the invitation out there. But you're an opportunist. You're acting like an opportunist. Real talk, that's what's coming off to me. You're acting like an opportunist, bro. You're acting like you just want to take the opportunity, say some shit, get a reaction. You know what I'm saying? Have your cousin, write your post in there. And trying to use what WCS has already used. Talking about the time these cats wasting on YTC. Trying to be YouTube famous. I know, I understand. Hey. I inspire you to be somebody. I get it. While he's on his way, you know what I'm saying? While he's on his way, let's get down to some details that I want to go back to. And that this was from a vid from 68. And I wanna know if you remember this specific information. You understand? I want to know if you remember. Just based off the audio and what you listened to. I want to know back in this time as we reflect on this. There's been an individual that's absolutely been negative 1,000% wrong on a lot of shit. But I want to know if you remember this once upon a time or two or three or four.
Specifically defensively, getting his hands back to the proper position when he does it so that he doesn't take a counter shot that he don't see coming. That's what he has to do. That's his key to victory. My official pick, bro. My official pick. Look, man. Y'all call this shit 50-50 down the middle, be politically correct.
I never once called it 50-50 down the middle. Anybody who was over here when I did my freaking prediction, Spence, brother, no chance. Look, physically matched up 1-on-1, I give Errol Spence no chance of beating Crawford. If you're talking about a fixed fight with a referee and the judges involved and all that, yeah, I give him a high percentage. Real talk. But as far as going mano a mano, head up, skill for skill, I don't give Errol Spence no chance. No chance, y'all. No chance. I gave Errol Spence no chance of beating Crawford. No chance. And they just want to wipe over that shit like I had a lucky guess. I was saying that wasn't even fight week. I was saying he didn't have a chance of beating because I knew everything that was encompassing. But let me get back to this video though.
All you want to and all that shit if you want to, man, I'm on my square and I'm gonna stay on my square because I believe in what I see. I believe in my boxing mind, bro. I got Errol Spence Jr. watching this dude, bro.
He got Errol Spence Jr. watching. This is public record, man. I know he's getting close. He want to report and all that, but this is just a reaction of public record. This is public information. This is just a reaction. And whenever I want to have a giggle on Friday, I just go back to all the Errol Spence fight nights. The reactions leading up to that fight. Oh my God. They are just absolutely entertaining, man. They are entertaining. He had Errol Spence watching. Now, y'all correct me if I'm wrong. If you go to BoxRec and you put in Errol Spence, is there another Spence that come up in there? I just want to be sure that I'm on the right sheet of music. I have the right person. I'm dial locked. It's not a clone. You know what I'm saying? I just want to make sure that we're talking about the same person.
I got him watching this man badly, bro.
Badly, yo. Badly, bro. Badly. Shout out to Mr. International Toby Bartlett in the building. What's good with it, brother? Salute to you. Salute WCS in the hottest chat in the YTC. We're global. We're global, baby. You already know. It's better than be just local. TV in the building. Salute to you. What's good?
Badly, like the way I see the fight playing out, I think Terrence Crawford's not gonna listen to me. He's not gonna fucking listen to me, right?
Terrence Crawford's not gonna listen to him. See, and they wonder why I do a reaction. He said Terrence Crawford's not gonna listen to him. That's somewhat like I be saying to these cats. They're not gonna listen because they have all these damn barriers up there, these defense mechanisms, and they just wasting time. They just doing it out of spite. You know what I'm saying? They so egotistical. You know what I'm saying? They just can't listen. He wants to go over here and talk about somebody's age and everything like that. But you should be thinking, hey, I just can't wait to get his age. You know what I'm saying? He's past 50 years old. You need to be hoping to get to where I'm at. But you're steadily talking about age. But it's okay though. It's okay. It's okay. We're gonna talk about that post.
He's gonna come forward. I mean, he gonna start orthodox, right?
Okay. Wrong. He gonna start orthodox. Why? Because there was a dude right here that always said, hey, Terrence Crawford go orthodox for no. He's not a switch hitter. He just used that for nothing. He just go there and collect data. He was on the wagon, the little red wagon like everybody else, who was just talking about, Terrence Crawford gonna come up here and he gonna start orthodox. Didn't know shit about boxing, bro. All because you wanted to take what he's did with another fighter, and then he comes out there and he fights southpaw since the opening ticket. I had to have me, give me something to drink. Yeah, some agua.
He gonna start orthodox. When he start orthodox, Errol Spence gonna get off to a lead. He's gonna be working at jail.
Okay, all right.
Bud's gonna switch southpaw.
Okay.
When he switch southpaw, that shit that he usually hit people with, where they don't see shit coming, that shit gonna go away. And now he gonna find himself in a lead hand battle with Earl. Except for Earl is gonna be working that jab on the front foot coming in, and
Earl gonna be working that front jab, coming in. I never knew if that was there ever a back jab, a front jab. I thought a jab was always from the front. Is a jab was somewhere in the back? Seriously, I'm just asking an educated question, right? Was there always a back jab? He's gonna be working the back jab, and then he's gonna throw the two and return to the front jab, front jab, front jab. He's gonna step off to the right, and then he's gonna pivot, and then he's gonna start back with the back jab, back jab, back jab. Has there ever been a back jab before? Or no?
find his way on the inside, bro. And I think about round 3 or 4.
Round 3 or 4.
About
round 3 or 4. Y'all stay tuned. Round 3 or 4. It's possible. Mark my word. It's possible for this fight to happen again. For the first time, it's possible. If you go out there to the rainforest and find you a shaman and basically sign your name on the dotted line for ayahuasca, maybe they can take you back in time mentally, you know what I'm saying, neurologically, psychedelically, before this fight even happened, and you can allow what you said. You take this video over there on the thumbstick and allow them to take you back to that moment and see if it's possible for them to put you in the moment on how you wanted this fight to play out.
Around 3 or 4, Earl gonna have his rhythm. Bug gonna try to turn up. What? Earl gonna go right there with him.
Okay.
Right there with him.
Right
and he gonna start grinding the wheels, grinding the gears. You're gonna see them body shots come in. And I just think that what Earl does, when you look at Bud Crawford and you look at his style of being a counterpuncher, trying to catch you in between shots, letting you lead, you know what I'm saying, using his athleticism. What's the worst style from him? What? Someone that can go to the body, that can take away athleticism. Check.
Okay. Check.
Someone that's athletic enough to make you fight and mirror you and cut the ring off. Check. Someone who has a nice, consistent, steady jab that they can throw at different cadences to keep you busy so you can't time what they're doing as they're coming in. They don't have to get out of position to come inside on you. Check. Someone that's strong enough to refuse to clinch when you're trying to get it at. Check, bro. It's just a bad style matchup for Bud Crawford. I have always believed that. And when I look at them train and I look at their demeanor and I look at their mentality, bro, I believe that shit even more so now. So I got Errol Spence Jr. stopping Terrence Crawford somewhere between round 8 and round 10.
Y'all, round 8 or round 10, he had Errol Spence stopping Bud Crawford. Round 8, round 10. Now, there was some stopping going on. Baby. Let me tell you. Ooh, there's a lot of stopping going on. For real. It started in the second round, too. When Terrence Crawford dropped Errol Spence for the first time. It was some stopping going on. You know what I'm saying? Stop. You know what I'm saying? It was that type of stop. In the name of Bud. You know what I'm saying? Because you in trouble. We seen some stopping going on. Real talk. So he wasn't entirely wrong, you know, saying there was going to be some stopping. He wasn't entirely wrong. He was right in a sense here and there. You feel me? But it wasn't nowhere close to being true for the fighter that he believed that was going to wash Bud Crawford.
It's my official pick, my official prediction. I'm standing on it. You know what I mean?
Hey, standing on it. Some things ain't meant to stand on. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you sinking while you standing on them. But you can't tell some people stuff, man. You know, you try to, give them a hand signal. Hey, you sinking. Oh, man, get out of here. What this nigga doing up here? Damn, talking. Hey, bro, you sinking on that bullshit you just talking about, man. You sinking. I'm pointing down to the ground. You sinking. Man, damn, I wish that nigga stop talking, man. Damn. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to tell you sinking, bro. That's all. You been standing on a pile of shit. You sinking inside of it. It's a lot of bacteria, germs, viruses, all types of diseases that you can get if you was to, become submerged in that pile of shit you standing on right now. I'm trying to help you out, bro. You know what I'm saying? With that prediction. You know what I'm saying? That's why they truly, truly mad. This was the fight for their vindication. You know what I'm saying? They're mad, and they can continue to stay mad because they are here pushing, these narratives for a certain promotion, and they're dead ass fucking wrong. I'm talking about dead ass wrong. Skeleton in the casket since way when. You know what I'm saying? Wrong.
Now I can catch these super chats. I can drop the link. Y'all come up here and talk this shit with me. It's fight week, bro. We can talk monster in a way. Steven. All right, man. Go take care of that crying baby, man. Go.
In this mud. I'm saying, brother, it's about to be a destruction, man. Like you said, KO, he sacrificed all that. He said, give him that. Oh, he want a coin toss, give him that. He just want to put his hands on Bud, bro. The man just want to put his hands on Bud. And people think he gonna lose? Are y'all crazy, bro? He sacrificed too much, man. He letting y'all know, bro. It's over. It's over, bro. Saturday.
It's over, shawty. Saturday is over. Damn it. It's over. Like a four-leaf clover. You shouldn't have chose her. Come on, man. It's over. They said it was over, man. They said it was over. It was over. It was over for Bud.
All that talk go out the window. We get to
all
see
of it.
And that's a blessing, man.
That's a blessing.
And salute the coach.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? He up there looking down, man. I wish he could have been here to see this, because this is what he talked about. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, hey, that's all I got to say about it, man. Destruction. Destruction.
Right,
I think it's gonna be
destruction.
A stoppage.
Already. I'm gonna go to the homie Ronnie. Go ahead and get your bars off. You got 2 minutes, bro.
Yeah, salute to you, KO, and everybody in the panel, everybody in the chat. Listen, y'all know that I'm riding with Bud on this one.
There it is.
And I just think that Earl is not, he's going to disappoint y'all. He ain't going to be able to live up to what y'all think he's going to live up to.
Talk to him, Ronnie.
Like all this stuff, this expectation y'all got for him, it ain't going to happen. I'm sorry. Because Bud is the type of guy, the better his opponent, he can dig down the levels that Spence can't dig down to. So the greater of his opponent, the greater skill he can display. So I just don't see it. We gonna find out though. I can't wait.
He right out the kitchen.
But I know the play. Some of y'all come Sunday morning when Earl Spence, your little hero, is lying in the hospital, soaking in his loss. Some of y'all heathens gonna go to church for the first time.
Oh my God! Sound like shit.
Y'all gonna skip out on that post
like
fight.
Shit I say. Is it
real quick, Ronnie. Whoever trying to get in, bro, I'm full right now. But if it's a Crawford fan, put that you trying to get in on the chat, and I have one of these Spence people get out, bro. I got a lot of Spence people up here right now, and I'm telling y'all, bro, if too many motherfuckers start agreeing with me, I'm gonna change the whole subject to some shit I know I can disagree on, bro. So if you trying to get up here and rep for Bud, bro, put it in the chat, and I'll get somebody else so you can come on, bro. But go ahead, Ronnie. My bad, dog.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, I know the playbook. Y'all gonna dig into y'all closet and take out them dusty ass Sunday shoes that y'all ain't worn 20 years, and y'all gonna go to church that day. But I got news for y'all. Salvation can wait one more day. Go to the night service. Just make sure your ass is in that next live with KQKC and the homie KO. Because I want to see y'all there. I want to see y'all when y'all guy gets his ass destroyed, and I'm in there. I'm gonna be there waiting for you. So make sure you hit the link. Well, no, don't hit the link because that's not gonna be open panel. But make sure you in there. Make sure you shouting everybody out, because I want to be there, and I'm gonna make sure I'm there to see what y'all got to say.
Oh man, shout out to the homie Ronnie, bro, coming up here and riding like he always do. We got Jay next. Jay, talk to me. You got 2 minutes, bro. Go ahead. And hold on real quick, Jay. Shout out to the homie Paul 912 with the $2 super chat. You gained a subscriber with this task talk. I think you meant trash talk, but yeah, bro, I say everything I mean. I'm glad you subbed up. And it was 500 people in here, man. If y'all ain't subbed to the channel, I don't know what y'all doing.
Did y'all catch that? 500 people. 500. Why would there be 500 people on a prediction video? I don't know. Maybe there were Spence fans. But I'm saying, if there was Spence fans and they rock with you that heavy on fight week, where have they gone? Why aren't they in presence now? Why aren't thou in attendance now? That's all I'm saying. 500? Damn, I don't know what I'd do if I had 500. You know what I'm saying? 500 people, though? Where did they go after July 29th, 2023? Where did they all go? You know?
Bro, sub up, man. Help the channel grow. We put in work Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday night. We live all those nights at
sub to his
7:30.
channel, man.
I
Make sure
drop
y'all
content to the
sub to his
channel
channel. I
every
want
single
his channel
day.
to grow.
So
I want him to
join
be
the channel,
best
subscribe
ever,
to the
bro, so
channel,
he can get
hit that like
TV
button, man. Support the grind. We
freaking
working over
stamp
here.
on his
But go
freaking,
ahead, Jay. It's on you, bro.
put
You
the
got 2
logo up
minutes,
there.
man.
I want him to get the
What up,
TV
chat?
stamp.
What up, knockout? I
Hey,
just
what's
want to
good?
say I don't
Check this out now. It's about to get funny.
I think this fight is not going to be as competitive as everybody think it's going to be. It might even be disappointing. But the point I want to bring up now, maybe we could discuss it later, is how because I don't know why people think that Terrence Crawford is going to be able to jump up to the highest level of competition and all of a sudden be able to win.
Hey man, I can't make this up on a Friday, dog. I can't make this up, bro. This is pure. I mean, pure rich. This is pure rich entertainment. When you want to get a very organic giggle, in hindsight, y'all, in hindsight, you get to hear what other human beings were saying about this fight. It's just hilarious, man. It's just hilarious, man.
I don't understand that. And I just want to know why all of a sudden, since the fight was made, all of the other stuff from the past don't matter no more. It don't matter about his resume no more. It don't matter about how he handled the negotiations. I don't think people realize all of that stuff says something about his character, and it also says something about him not being a real champion. He is he is a
It says something about him not being a real champion when he beat Jeff Horn for the championship. You have to ask yourself, deep down inside, God damn it, you want to know where some of these human beings that talk boxing came from. Real talk. A real champion? A real champion that's on a knockout streak now. A real champion who was on a knockout streak extended from 140 pounds over into 147 pounds. And then we're talking about people, nobody would have ever got on my panel with this type of frivolous gibberish. Never, never, ever.
terrible display of a champion, in my opinion. In my opinion. But I mean, we'll see come Saturday. But I just think that I don't see it. The way he handles things, his character, the constant contradicting himself, all of those things says something about somebody. And it also says something about the way you're going to be competing come Saturday night.
Do y'all make any sense of what was just said? Character. When you touch gloves with your opponent in a full contact sport, you have to make sure you have that goddamn character with you. You gotta make sure you have that character because above all else, man, when it comes down to getting into the wickets, through the controversy, adversity, challenge, you know what I'm saying? When you're taking those punches to the head, you need to draw from within and your character needs to stand out. Because above all else, your character is gonna be there when nobody else is, god damn it. Your character is gonna be there when nothing else matters, yo.
Damn. Okay, well, y'all heard what she said. Let me go to the homie Real Spill Midwest Boxing Talk. You got 2 minutes, man, for your opening statement. Go ahead, bro.
Salute, KO. Thank you for having me on, man. Salute to the chat, to the panel.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna be brief, man. To me, it's resumes, man. We know Bud's resume, we know EJ's resume. But what I wanna stress to everybody, man, is order this fight. We've been clamoring, we've been pushing for this fight for 2, 3, 4, 5 years. Even if you go to a fight party, just order the fight. Even if you don't watch it at home, order the fight.
Spence, he's going to be the A side. He's been on PBC Showtime, right? Spence, he's the stronger, definitely the bigger fighter going into this. So
The bigger fighter at one point in time when they faced off in Beverly Hills, yeah, he weighed more than Crawford. Absolutely, he did. He weighed more than Crawford. I saw it with my own eyeballs, my own pupils, and then they wasn't dilated or anything. I saw it for myself. I say, damn, Spence still got some weight on him. At that point in time, I was concerned. and they was serving food over there. You know what I'm saying? So me, I'm being nosy with the long lens game going on. I wanted to know after the freaking, presser, was Spence gonna go over there and partake in some of those entrees that they had lined up? Because I was gonna goddamn lens the moment.
I gotta go with Spence. I gotta go with Spence to get his ass beat. I'm gonna tell you this: with Bud Crawford, the difference in this is gonna be adaptability. He can adapt. People are sleeping on Bud. Everyone wants to talk resume this, resume this. KO, you know as well as anybody else. Resume you're only as good as the opponent that's put in front of you. I get this, but he's dominating everybody. Since he hit welterweight, he's stopping everybody. That's what you're supposed to do.
Facts.
And this is what I see with Spence. And I love Spence. And the first big bet I ever had with Spence was Kell Brook. But that fight with Kell Brook, I was nervous in that fight. Let me tell you. And there's some things in prime Kell Brook that I see in Bud. Those first rounds against Kell Brook was, he was cruising in that fight. And that's a Kell Brook that jumped up 2 weight classes, got his eye broke by Triple G. We all know that wasn't the prime Kell Brook, but that really had me on edge. That was like a red flag. And then since then, Spence is elite, no doubt. Spence is elite like Lomachenko's elite. Spence is elite like AJ's elite, right? Anthony Joshua. But let me tell you something. Lomachenko ain't Shakur. AJ ain't Tyson Fury. And I'm telling you right now, Spence ain't Bud. That is my non-biased approach on this. Something about Bud is special. He's special. I got Spence elite, and he's elite. Yeah, you're going 12 rounds with Mikey Garcia. You're going 12 rounds with Danny Garcia. You're doing the Ugas thing. Jordanis Ugas not even a top 8 welterweight for me. Okay, and he somewhat looks suspect with that. But the Kell Brook fight, I don't know. I can't get it through. I think when you have Bud Crawford, when you're special, you find a way to win. You don't lose. So that's with me. I think Bud's gonna go into a gear that you guys haven't seen before, and the second half of the fight, he's gonna run off with it. I got Bud points.
If he
Bud's never had to find a way to win. He's never had to find a way to win.
Hold on.
He always finds a way to win. That's why he's never lost before.
She said, "What? What? He never has to find a way to win?" That's the whole point. They're saying that Terrence Crawford is going to force him to visit areas that he didn't have to do with other opponents. You wasn't going to just be able to come forward and close distance and use the same combinational sets like you do. It makes no sense to think that people was actually believing that Spence was going to be able to approach Crawford the same way he did every other opponent leading up to that point, which was Danny Garcia and Jordanis Ugas. It was just crazy to hear this gibberish that she was talking.
That's why he's never lost before. He always finds a way to win.
This man is
Sean Porter in his corner. His corner's yelling to him, "Yo, you're down on the cards. You're down on the cards." He said, "What?"
Is
he
the panel
came out there,
down?
flipped another gear.
No, it's not. It's not. It's not over.
Hold on.
Y'all let me pass.
They getting feisty. They don't want to hear that Crawford talk.
To the next, but TJ, we gotta bet some push-ups or something, bro. We gotta bet like 100 push-ups or something.
Yeah, bet some push-ups because I want to find that video too. He probably edited, took it down. You know what I'm saying?
TJ, soon as the panel open, bro, I got something for you, bro.
We gotta bet something,
bro.
Like, y'all, that's a great anybody, hold on, bro. Anybody, don't nobody disrespect TJ in my chat or nothing. This is one of my day one supporters, bro. Y'all leave TJ the hell alone.
I'm not TJ. It's good for the white host to have a white listener in the chat. It's good to have that diversity. You know what I'm saying? It's good to have that diversity for real. In my chat, I have white, black, different ethnicity. It's good to know that the white host has, some white listeners that's on this panel and able to talk, about this boxing. That's commendable, for real, honorable. I honor that.
I'm not coming on here trolling, bro. I follow boxing for probably most 99% more than anybody else.
So does he open the panel?
Y'all respect TJ, bro. Everybody got their opinion over here. Y'all know how we rocking, man. Shout out to the homie Keith. Oh, let me answer this question. Emmanuel Carter with the $2 super chat. He say, I got some background though. I think that and give us their breakdown and why they got Bud win. But the college, I'm here for boxing. My bad, I'm here for boxing the shit. So go ahead, Upper, land that plane. So I
Yeah,
can
I'm about to
respond.
land the plane. But yeah,
Then we're gonna go to
Bud
TJ and we're gonna let the other brothers go too.
yeah,
Go ahead.
but Bud had a chance to fight him in 140 and he didn't. Just like he had a chance to fight him up here and he had a chance to fight Ugas and he didn't. Bud is not as elite as most people think. If you got somebody that's gonna push back, then Bud is not. He's gonna crumble under pressure. You're gonna see that this fight is gonna be a lot easier than you think.
The anarchy, y'all. The anarchy of not knowing. Doesn't it give you that anarchy feeling, y'all? For real, don't you think this would have been a perfect time for the rapture to happen? Because look, they could have got away with the sinning that was going on with them talking the way they talk. He was busy up here talking about when somebody pushes, he's gonna crumble. If you've never seen anybody crumble under pressure, what make you think it's gonna be that easy just because it's another fighter coming in there? As perfect example, Crawford Spence. Who would have thought that EJ will crumble the way he did and couldn't find an option, a second avenue of approach on how to make adjustments to take back the momentum from Crawford? Who would have figured that fight would be as easy as it was for Crawford?
That's why he didn't want to take the Thurman fight. That's why he did all this dancing around before this fight. He didn't want this fight. He was backed into a corner. His kids and his wife and family asked him, was he ducking? That's why he took this fight. Go ahead.
All right. Shout out to the homie Samber B. Motts. He said Spence is an underdog for a reason, man. Listen, bro, I ain't gonna brag Samber B. Motts, but I make a lot of money going.
We all gonna make that money.
Hey, he make a lot of money, and we all gonna make that money. You heard him. You heard him. Hey, you heard him, Shouty. For real, all I'm doing is a reaction. That's all I'm doing, man. You heard him. We all gonna make that money. So look, just think about this is just a small speck of all the Errol Spence fans who lost money on their net. This is just a speck, a microcosm. I'm talking about a dot that's smaller to the naked eye, y'all, among Spence fans worldwide. This is just a speck, y'all.
Like fucking like you want to talk to me about some Vegas odds? Erickson Lubin was the motherfucking favorite against Sebastian Fundora. Made some good money there.
Made some good money on
same with Brian Mendoza.
Brian Mendoza made that good money.
Urdinas Ugas was the favorite, was the underdog to Manny Pacquiao. Made a lot of money there. They just bought up another good one.
Saturday.
They just made, hold on.
Saturday.
Upper, hold on.
Slight. These odds are dead even. The Kell Brook fight, besides the orbital, no fight is ever the same. He was a 147-pound fighter. He jumped up, not one, 2 weight classes to fight Triple G. So he went up to 116, took a beating, and then had to cut all that weight.
Fought Adrian Broner at a catch weight. He also fought at 142. He was the 140 champion. So don't say Mikey, and he was a pound for pound number 3 fighter. So don't bring that because Ricky Burns was the 135.
Let's remember Sandor Martin. He got completely unboxed by Sandor Martin.
No, he got broken by Earl Spence. He came back for the paycheck because he got paid good money for the Sandor Martin.
But you got some other brothers, y'all get in here, man.
Hey, yo. You preaching?
Can I make a point to TJ? Can I make a point to TJ real quick?
Go ahead.
No, you can't. No, you don't need to make any
points. Whoever that was, Jay, go ahead, and then whoever that was talking other than her, you go ahead too. Go ahead, Jay.
Okay, it's two things that I don't hear people really mentioning. One is Terrence. I mean, everybody want to say Terrence Crawford power, blah 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 blah. But is Terrence Crawford really gonna be able to take Spence's jabs? Is he really gonna be able to take Spence's punishment? Is he really gonna be able to take the cutting the ring off? Is he, and I'm talking about mentally, is he really gonna be able to take that mental pressure round after round after round? And another point that I want to make, everybody talking about Crawford's mentality.
Hey, if y'all ain't paying attention, another point she want to make, y'all. This is giving you the preamble to the crime scene. Most of the time, you don't get to hear the people speak before the crime is committed, and they're the victims. You know what I'm saying? But this time we get to go back a little bit, tick on the clock. You know what I'm saying? Because it's public record, and listen to these victims, how they were so invigorated, overjoyed, just so full of civility. I mean, it just gives you chills, man. It just gives you chills listening to how amplified they were, knowing the confidence was there that EJ was going to beat Crawford.
Crawford's mentality is not he wants undisputed. This is Spence's dream. This is what he set out to do. This is the reason why.
It wasn't anything to do with Bud. He didn't want undisputed. It was all Arrow. I have a dream. Once upon a time, out of DeSoto, Texas, I will become welterweight undisputed. I have a dream.
He stayed in one weight class his whole career. This is the reason why he came back after the accident. He didn't do all that to fight Terrence Crawford. He did all of that to become undisputed. It don't matter who it would have been with the belt. This is what he wanted to do. Now, Terrence Crawford, on the other hand, he been hemming and hawing. I'm already a Hall of Famer. I don't want.
Y'all, he was hemming and hawing. Hemming and ha ha ha. Hemming, ha. He was hemming and hawing, y'all. Always remember, tell your kids it's not okay to be a hemming hobbing. Hemming ha, ha hemming, ha, hemming. Tell your kids that's not cool. Don't do that. You know what I'm saying? The teachers are not gonna like you hemming and hawing.
I don't know if I really want the fight. I don't need the fight. That's not a mentality of somebody that really want to win.
Bad champion.
Shout out to the cereal box psychologist, psychiatrist, any type of therapist that deals with situations like this. Because goddamn it, we all know that it was trauma come July 30th. Ooh wee.
But Jay, there ain't no convincing that guy because he just said he don't even count Udanis Ugas. How the hell you don't count Udanis Ugas?
The guy that got beat by Thomas Delorme.
Hey yo,
Thomas Delorme.
Hey, yo.
Udanis Ugas. Udanis Ugas is.
Ugas beat Bud twice.
Exactly.
So they bringing in amateurs. That's how desperate they was. They bringing in amateurs. For real. CJ making good points though. He made some good points, man.
One guy that beat Bud twice in the amateurs, you don't count.
Don't come at me with the amis.
Yo, how
Please
old
stop
is
with the amateurs?
how old is Shakur Stevenson?
25.
He's 25, right?
Okay.
Y'all consider him a baby inside the like.
I don't. Devin Haney's 24. He's undisputed.
But I'm talking about like, is he early in his career? Like to you, like with his age? He early in his career.
He's prime. No, if you ask me,
Kell Brook had Bud's eyes swelling up.
Kell Brook
Bud,
had Errol Spence eye swelling up too. So
There you go.
Yeah,
Kell Brook. Kell Brook.
wait.
Go back
I
and
never
look at
seen
the fight.
Earl. I
After
never
the fight,
seen Earl
he
with
had
no
no
lump.
marks on his face.
He never seen Earl with a lump, y'all. Now we gotta find the optometrist that's out there that deals with eyes and vision and see if they had any new prescriptions leading up to this fight for those who was gonna be sitting in the nosebleed. Come on, man. Come on, bro. You know what I'm saying? He ain't never seen no lump. Arrow used to go in them battles and go tit for tat, mano a mano, and he didn't get touched up not one bit. He ain't never seen Earl lumped up. But if you ask him about July 29th, ask him, did he see Earl lumped up? And I guarantee you he's definitely going to be a little bit more precise. Well, see that was different.
This ain't even. Yeah, I'm about to say. The most marks I seen on Earl face was
The Sean Porter
with Sean Porter.
Sean Porter.
And that was headbutts. Sean Porter
I'm talking about, and them was like
Okay.
knock.
You aware that Errol
And those was
Spence
like
was
ski
tied
knock.
with Kell Brook
No.
before that knockout, right?
What'd you say?
Y'all aware that Errol Spence on the scorecards was pretty much tied with Kell Brook before that knockout?
Nah, don't say.
Before, what? It was an even fight. So you was a timekeeper. I mean, what are we talking about with this? All this hearsay.
Hey, there, we know pretty much you
Yeah,
like
yeah.
You know why he's not good on his back foot? Hey, you know why he's not good on his back foot? The same reason why he had trouble with Porter. Because he's not good when he's being attacked, because Spence is not someone who punches with fighters. He waits for them to finish. So if you're aggressive and you put too much pressure on him, he tends to shell up and get into that Philly stance. He don't really deal with that way.
Okay, now it's my turn. Let me answer the question. Carl, hold on, bro. Let me answer the question, bro. So with that being said, you gonna have to convince me that I even need to answer that question, Ronnie, because I'm watching motherfucking Sean Porter put Bud Crawford on his back foot the whole fucking night. So I'll be damned if you're gonna make me believe that Bud Crawford is about to have.
Can I respond to that? Can I respond to that?
Back in Earl Spence.
Can I respond to that?
You're not gonna.
Can I respond to that?
He's talking
because there's a great analyst that I saw that had a split screen of that same fight, because people like to always say, oh, Porter wasn't the same, but it was the same strategy. And we're talking about styles make fights. Even if Porter wasn't 100%, if he was 80%, he was fighting the same way, using the same entry points, the same like almost peekaboo style where he tries to rush in, and Bud the whole time was turning him ole ole the whole fight. It was a completely different fight. Meanwhile, Spence got dinged on the whole fight and came out with a whole different side of his face.
Number one, everybody be so quick to jump. Hold on, bro. Hold on. Everybody be so goddamn quick to jump. Let me talk on my own shit. So I hear what you're saying, bro.
But if we talking about Fury versus Wilder, to me that's the perfect example of how styles make fights, where you have someone who has power and has a punch that should be able to win that fight, but can't win the fight because of not being able to deliver that power. So Styles does make fights. The reason here's the biggest one. Styles makes fights because the fights are determined. If anything, yeah, it's about will, it's about all that, but the mind is more powerful than the fist, bro.
He's talking to me, bro. Let him finish talking.
I feel like the mind is more powerful than the fist. Otherwise, we would be in the cage and the gorilla would be out here buying a ticket to come see us. But because intelligence rules, and that's what boxing is, bro. That's what the science is about. Like, you know what I mean? If we talk about pugilism, right?
Tell them about the science, man.
That's why Styles make fights.
All right, so my response, I explained to you why Styles don't make fights when I told you why, but I'll tell you again. So you gave,
and remember, IPADPAGER68 has been on record as saying Styles don't make fights. All because he prefaced that with when he has somebody to break down a fight and they tell him Styles make fights, that just totally eliminate any type of freaking argument they have, because they said Styles don't make fights. It's not something he want to accredit as a educational point when it comes to the sweet science, because all of a sudden what we look for in the fighters are styles, their styles, and we match that together on how competitive the fight may be, comparable to how we analyze their styles. Within their styles is what? There's certain points of references on how this fighter fights this type of fighter and how they fight, using their resume as comparisons within their career. If we want to look at their resume, knowing that they had opponents on that resume, and within that fight on their resume, we sit up here and analyzed it based off the style for which the strategy they chose to fight that opponent, whether it was good or bad. Styles make fights will always be a topic of discussion because they had a lot to do on how a fighter is built. What makes that fighter so special is what? Their style. You can't say styles don't make fight and the style makes the fighter. The style makes the fighter. So every fighter grows differently in the sport. Every fighter competes differently. And yes, this guy who's talking about the mind. Yes, the mind has a lot to do with how a fighter thinks. You know what I'm saying? Why you think they say fight or flight? It has a lot to do with mental. You got some small dudes with big hearts. You know what I'm saying? You got some small dudes with big hearts. They'll fight a big motherfucker without hesitation because mentally they're not fearful. You know what I'm saying? They have gamesmanship.
Give me the Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder. Be doing the Philly shell. Or everybody.
That's not true. That's not true. The whole point about that is
make fights. That takes away the ability of the fighter, meaning that if a style made a fight, then everybody should be doing the style that's going to make you win. So if it's a style that makes a fight.
Have you ever heard some of the dumbest shit in your life? Dude, iPad pager. That is one of the dumbest statements I've heard. Because why would a fighter, look, the basic fundamentals is a jab, and then you addition all the other combinations and all the attachments following that, right? So let's put it this way. In order for somebody to mirror a particular style, you have to say that they're equally athletic. Their athleticism is equal to that fighter. And we don't know how to compare on a higher scale that fighter's athleticism without him being in there with somebody who we compare equal to greater athleticism in the sport of boxing. Period. So why would another fighter wants to emulate or mimic a fighter's boxing style when that fighter hasn't proven that his style is something unique? It's an anomaly. You know what I'm saying? He has pretty much a one-on-one. Every opponent that fighter who you're trying to emulate their style, they don't fight the same fighter. They don't fight the same fighter with the same style. They have never fought the same fighter with the same style. And how would anyone give enough boxing FICO to say, you know what, that's the template we want to use right there. That's the template. Everybody. After a while, if you train a fighter for somebody else's style, knowing that they're not going to fight you the same way they fought their last opponent, how difficult is it for them to go out there and watch film? And you up here trying to mimic an old style they had, and they done switched up the style on you. Man, that shit don't make no fucking sense at all.
Then everybody should be doing the Philly shell. Or everybody.
That's not true. That's not true. The whole point about that.
I know we can't be talking about everybody be doing the Philly shell, and every opponent that attacks a fighter who is basically executing the Philly shell, the defense is different. You know, some of the shit that Ben Whitaker's doing inside the ring, you believe a fighter has that type of rhythm? It's like going to a dance. Not every male or female is going to be on the floor dancing. Some, it don't matter if they black or not, they don't have rhythm.
That is style. The whole point about styles make fights is that's why different styles win, because for each situation, because to win in each situation.
Light speed. I didn't.
Okay, you're right. You're right.
Let me go next after you, light speed.
So what I'm saying to y'all is this, bro. Just on its premise, right? If styles make fights, then there should be one style you can go to. I shouldn't be able to give you instances where all these different styles, another style won. There should be one style that reigns supreme, bro.
Have you ever heard some of the dumbest shit in your life? Because look, WCS is just gonna put some bookmarks in there, right? Without folding the page. I'm gonna put an actual bookmark in that motherfucker. Going off what he said, you have to understand that we have different divisions. In each division, they fight at a different tempo. So what style are we talking about once again? Because we know heavyweights are more flat-footed than lighter divisions. We know lighter divisions are much more mobile and freaking active. Has more speed. They move around a lot. You know what I'm saying? When you get up into the middle divisions, it all depends. You know, they got, you know, a little bit more power here, a little bit more speed, but not so flat-footed that it's freaking, you know, considered to be the heavyweight division. Everybody know the heavier division, the less movement you're gonna have. It depends on your opponent too. You know what I'm saying? It depends. It depends on your opponent. But that's just crazy to think that you're not considering the other weight divisions and how fighters fight at their weight to consider someone to produce a style that's considered a template.
There should be one style that reigns supreme. The fact that there is not will show you that it's not about the style. It's about who can employ their style on.
It's definitely about the style. One style will never reign supreme, but what you're trying to put out there that is not is styles make fights. You don't want to hear that. Styles do make fights. because no one is going to take the time to train a fighter, right? Let's just say that fighter was freaking 45-0. What weight division was he in? Who did he fight? They're going to start scrubbing the resumes from top to bottom on how do we exemplify this fighting style as a template. So since we're not able to do that, and every human being is different, and we're not receiving these freaking clones out the factory, styles are always going to make fights, because you have fighters from different countries who fight a different way. You know what I'm saying? We have fighters within the US of A who was raised under different coaches who fight a different way. So styles make fights, because when you get two style fighters who are very tough to freaking figure out and make adjustments to, depending on their speed, their aggressiveness, their boxing IQ, man, come on, it can go on for days.
Fight. So sometimes the boxer's gonna win because he was able to make it a boxing match and keep his distance. Sometimes the pressure fighter is gonna win because he was able to press the boxer. Sometimes the boxer puncher is going to win because he was looking for that shot and he found it and he knocked the dude out. Sometimes the boxer is going to beat the boxer puncher because the boxer puncher kept looking for that shot, but the boxer didn't give it to him and he outpointed him, bro.
Man, come on, you talking about what we've been going on in box? Man, I got to fast forward. It's not worth talking about.
It's just depending on the fighter. Like, I think we know that. I just think you're taking a little too literal when it comes to that.
Nah, y'all, people just don't explain themselves. So, for instance, we know what Earl style is. We know what Bud style is, right? One of them styles ain't better than the other. What's gonna happen is
we really don't truly know Bud's style. You know what I'm saying? Like he fought Madrimov different than what he fought Errol Spence. Why? Because styles make fights. Madrimov wasn't as forthcoming and aggressive as Errol Spence was. Styles make fights. Bud Crawford had much success in fighting the style that Errol Spence gave him, more so than he had with Madrimov.
One of them fighters is better than the other, and if Earl is able to get the fight where he wanted, he gonna fuck that dude up. If Bud is able to get the fight where he wanted, he gonna fuck that dude up. It ain't about their style that they fight in, because it's been other counter punches that fought Earl that wasn't able to do that shit. It's been other pressure fighters that fought Bud that wasn't able to do what Earl might be able to do to him. So it ain't about the style, bro. It's about the fighter. Like, we got to get away from just.
He wants you to get away from something that's been around and definitely, you know, becomes innately a part of how a fighter's raised in the sport of boxing. You know what I'm saying? Some fighters have these gifts, like athleticism is just huge strength, you know, power, IQ, just the how much intestinal fortitude you got, how much courage you got. You know what I'm saying? It takes more than just learning a skill set, especially when you get in there and you in there with the motherfucking Kodiak Bear, and you got to fight your way out that motherfucker. I mean, when somebody tests your durability, your willingness to survive, that plays a huge role, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, what put you in that position? Yes, it's mentally, but it was your style. That person, we wouldn't use the word adjustments if styles didn't make fights. You know what I'm saying? Adjustment plays a huge role in styles making fights. That's what boxing IQ leads the path to try to say, okay, who's going to come out victorious? How many rounds is this fight? What do I need to do to take away their success and what, the punches that they're landing on me? How do I disrupt the rhythm of my opponent?
Saying that.
So
now,
when we say style, when I say style, I can, if Bud comes and he decides on July 29th, for some reason they want to be pressure fighters and be on the front foot the whole fight, and even if that's completely different than what Bud's style typically is, then that's his style for that night. That's what people mean when they say styles make fights. They don't mean that, it's just styles make fights. So if you choose one style, then that's just one style that you can use to win. Like, that doesn't make any sense.
No one ever explains it.
Well, Bud has many styles.
Everyone that I've ever talked to, they tell me style make fights. That's why I got him.
Keep it
C-level fighter isn't gonna be the A-level fighter on that style, bro. But
and by the way, if Bud Crawford decide to be a pressure fighter and try to press forward, that's just gonna be much to his demise even more.
Well, then I got a question for all of y'all. What do y'all think about these stats? Bud and this is when he fought Kell Brooks, so the stat might have slid a little bit. Bud lands 48% of his power punches when he throws them. That's number one. The other, that's number one in boxing. Then number two, fighters that fight Bud only throw 50%. They throw half of the punches that they throw typically when they fight Bud.
Can you repeat that, please?
Then Bud is the least hit. What do y'all think about those stats?
But look, that's you dealing with.
Can I get you to repeat that last one? Can I get you to repeat that last one, please?
Okay, so it was that fighters when they fight Bud, they throw half the amount of punches that they thrown. Two is that Bud is the least hit fighter, and then the other one was that Bud lands 48% of his power punches, which is at that time was the most in boxing.
Wow, well that just kills all y'all damn arguments for the last two weeks, don't it?
No, because he's talking about when Bud fought Kell Brook. Since fighting Kell Brook, he has slipped down to 46%. Tank Davis is number one at 47.7. Shakur is number two at 47.2. Loma's number three at 46.6. Badu Jack is number four.
See, look, when people be rattling off, information they got online, that's what it's there for. But that doesn't mean it's going to be accurate because styles make fights, man. You're talking about 2 pound for pound fighters. What is that way when it comes to the percentage? If you're telling me, WCS, if you're trying to explain to me that Bud Crawford has no one on his resume that can defeat Errol Spence Jr., that means there's no one the caliber of fighter on Bud's resume at that point in time that's considered to be the level of Errol Spence Jr., right? And then on the other hand, if they was going to give Bud Crawford the qualifications to say that he beats everybody that's on freaking Errol Spence resume, at that point in time, he had fought Kell Brook and Sean Porter, for which they said that was washed. With that being the topic of discussion, those freaking percentages, with 2 pound for pound fighters will be inaccurate because it's no one that they can compare really. They didn't want to give credit to Sean Porter and Kell Brook, right? Just like they wasn't going to give credit to nobody on Bud Crawford's resume outside of Sean Porter and Kell Brook. Everybody before then in the welterweight division, they wasn't going to ever credit them as defeating Errol Spence Jr. They thought Errol Spence can defeat everybody because we already know he had already fought Sean Porter and Kell Brook, but they was going to give him zero credit. I mean, they was going to give Bud Crawford's resume at welterweight zero credit for anyone stepping up to defeat Errol Spence Jr. So whatever percentages or whatever both fighters had fighting before then, they haven't fought each other. And why I say that means that's a big deal that wasn't mentioned, because both of these fighters are pound for pound fighters. All these other fighters wasn't on the pound for pound list like that. These are pound for pound fighters that was on the list for quite some time, and they was campaigning in the same division. So that really wasn't even relevant when it comes for two elite fighters stepping in there on the collision course for Undisputed.
Or at 46.3. Terrence Crawford is number 5 at 46.2. Spence.
If you're supposed to beat somebody, but Crawford wasn't supposed to beat Porter.
Bro, look,
he was still picked by most people to beat Porter though.
Crawford
look, Porter was a good fight. It was a competitive fight. Bud got the stoppage. Kenny Porter stole the moment from both of those fighters, but Bud did what he did to Porter, and that's it, and that's all. Now, if you want to have a whole conversation, which I don't want to do because this fight is made now, we can't disregard the comments of Kenny Porter after the fight. We can't disregard the comments of Sean Porter.
See, here we go again. We can't disregard Kenny Porter's comments. We can't disregard freaking who's the other one? His dad, who said he knew that was in training. He knew in training that Sean Porter, but they still showed up for the $4+ million payday. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's what led them to the slaughter too. They was up here trying to find any type of information to speak out about why Crawford was going to lose this fight against Spence, knowing very well they gave no credit to Sean Porter nor Kell Brook when Crawford did it better. They put it out there, even though Kell Brook came down 2 divisions and was already broken and broken up. They said it was Errol Spence who did it. And then they said Sean Porter was on his way to retirement. So this was an absolute heist at the end of the day. A heist of individuals who was aerosexuals, and their souls were taken on that. It was the most brutal heist that you would ever see when you saw these souls just disappear from the sport of boxing, support, all that shit, man. Because you had individuals that was allowed to get on the panel. I'm not saying everybody was on here. It was some good points made. But just the mentality of someone who want to go through stats not understanding, and he in hindsight he'll try to act like that wasn't the case. But just the simple fact of what I just pointed out about both of them being pound for pound fighters. So the punch stats don't fucking matter. If you got 2 elite fighters, the cream of the crop, on the pound for pound list, punch stats don't matter. It doesn't give a fuck if you can go 1 through 10 on punch stats. Who cares? These 2 fighters supposedly have no opponents that mirror a match equal to greater than them that they've ever fought in their career. So since that means for the first time, you have to start off a clean slate and just go off assessment. You know what I'm saying? Open assessment. You have to go off film study. You have to go off, you know what I'm saying, just your own analytics. But you can't just narrow it down to what they did in this fight and what they had at this fight leading up to this point. You know, you just got to come up with what your guess may be based off both opponents and what they've been able to accomplish. What is your guess? Who you think going to win? It's all going to be opinionated at the end of the day. But to throw numbers up there, they were saying that Crawford may have had 40 fights, but he ain't fought nobody. Errol Spence had 28 victories. And they was like, he has the better resume. Even though he didn't have the amount of experience on the championship level than Terrence Crawford did, they say he had the better resume with only 28 fights now. So they was basically saying, well, we're gonna modify the value of Crawford's resume and say, yeah, he may have more fights, but he don't have the quality of opposition that Errol Spence has.
After the fight, people get mad when they like. You can't get mad when they're the ones saying, when you hear Sean Porter say, "I didn't train as hard for Bud as I did for Earl." You can't get mad.
But then you okay, so then
you can't get mad at the shit that Kenny Porter and Sean
Let him
Porter say.
finish.
all right.
Sign that contract, and this fight got fight got made. Guess what? That's all we wanted. That's all we wanted to see. Bud Crawford get his shot to show the world that he's one of the best fighters to ever do it.
Sir.
Hey Terrence, let me ask you.
That's all we wanted.
Let me ask you a couple of rhetorical questions, Terrence. Which side has people making preemptive excuses?
The Errol fans, definitely not Bud.
Oh, really? What? No, y'all, hold on. What excuses have you heard just today? You've been listening.
Man.
What excuses has an Earl Spence fan made today for this fight today?
Well, I don't know about today. I just got on here, but I know what I've been hearing throughout.
Since the fight got signed, what excuses have you heard Earl Spence fans making, bro?
Car accident.
Where have
I've
you
heard that a bunch of times, giving them an excuse.
Where have you heard this shit, bro?
A lot of different channels are saying are making this excuse. Showbiz for one. I mean, he even went. He's just really ridiculous. But yeah, he says Bud fans shouldn't even be happy. They should just sit back and watch the fight.
What's your thoughts on the Terrence Crawford channels making videos about Earl Spence's nipples? What's your thoughts on the Terrence Crawford channels? Matter of fact, fuck the channels. What's your thoughts on Bowman saying that he's worried about the fight going to the cards and shit? What's your thoughts on that? Is that an excuse?
I mean, that's an excuse.
Hey, big shout out to Christopher White in the super chat, man, with the $7 super chat, my brother. Thanks for always donating to and supporting the channel. Much appreciated. One love as always, man. Thanks for the $7 super chat, man. Lighting up the tree of life for WCS. I appreciate you, big dog.
I'm saying Bud fans aren't making that excuse.
No, but Bud team. his own head.
I haven't made one that a bunch of times, giving him an excuse.
Where have you heard this shit, bro?
Sign that contract, and this fight got, and this.
Now, watch how defensive they get.
This fight got made. Guess what? That's all we wanted. That's all we wanted to see. Bud Crawford get his shot to show the world that he's one of the best fighters to ever do it.
Hey, Terrence, let me ask you.
That's all we wanted.
Let me ask you a couple of rhetorical questions, Terrence. Which side has people making preemptive excuses?
The Earl fans, definitely not Bud.
Oh, really? What? No, y'all, hold on. What excuses have you heard just today? You've been listening. What excuses has an Earl Spence fan made today for this fight today?
Well, I don't know about today. I just got on here, but I know what I've been hearing throughout.
Since the fight got signed, what excuses have you heard Earl Spence fans making, bro?
Car accident. Where have you heard that a bunch of times? Giving him an excuse.
Where have you heard this shit, bro?
It don't matter where he heard it at. He say he heard it, just like the shit you be references. I'm talking about you heard. Why does somebody have to go into detail as to the point of location on where they heard something at? You know, who does that? Unless you're debating someone or you trying to fact check them something on what they said. Nobody's gonna give you no details on anything.
A lot of different channels are saying are making this excuse. Showbiz for one. I mean, he even went. He's just really ridiculous. He says Bud fans shouldn't even be happy. They should just sit back and watch the fight.
What's your thoughts on the Terrence Crawford channels making videos about Earl Spence's nipples? What's your thoughts on the Terrence Crawford channels? Matter of fact, fuck the channels. What's your thoughts on Bowmax saying that he's worried about the fight going to the cards and shit? What's your thoughts on that? Is that an excuse?
I mean, that's an excuse. Right? I'm saying Bud fans aren't making that excuse.
No, but
see, let's weigh this, right? Okay, let's just try to define through deductive reasoning, coming up with information to come to a viable solution or resolution, right? When you're talking about what Bomax said about going to the scorecards, what does that have to do with what the other guy was talking about when it comes to the excuses that Aerosexual was talking about? You know, Spence and his car wreck, his eye and everything like that, affecting him for winning the fight physically, going in there and competing. You know, his level of competitive edge may be in question because they're basically trying to set the table. Hey man, he had a car accident, he had an eye, you know, this, that, and the other, you know, that may affect him. We don't know, but we'll find out. And they got to give it a little bit more time to build up their confidence. They need to see one thing we seen leading up to that fight with Errol Spence is that all his pitches was looking at the ground. I pointed that out. A lot of people really wasn't petty like that, but I'll say, man, he's looking at the ground. That's where he's gonna be at most of the night. And everybody who followed me know I said the shit, right? But then, you know, you want to talk about Bomax said something about going to the scorecards. What does that have to do with Crawford competing? We're talking about one side talking about he may be limited in how he competes. They may be setting the table to make an excuse as to him not coming out victorious because of the accident in the eye. But yet Bomac making a point to say, well, we don't want to go to the scorecards, etc. That's not an excuse. That's just saying that's something that he's thinking about. That's a guess. That's a possibility. That's an insinuation. He feels unsure about if Crawford will win if it went to the scorecard. It's nothing dealing with no competitiveness though.
Bud Hope, his own head.
I haven't made one excuse.
Fucking trainer. Y'all do in Las Vegas and shit, and Bud need a knockout to win and shit. Man, I ain't trying to hear that shit, bro. Now, y'all want to talk about niggas making excuses? Get on them niggas over there, bro, that said this shit was gonna be so easy. That Earl,
you talking about me? You talking about me? Dang. Well, you talking about me? Cause I remember I said some shit like that. I said it. Real talk. I said it, bro. Yes, brother. No chance. Look, physically matched up, 1-on-1, I give Errol Spence no chance of beating Crawford. If you're talking about a fixed fight, with a referee and the judges involved and all that, yeah, I give him a high percentage. Real talk. But as far as going mano a mano head up, you know, skill for skill, I don't give Errol Spence no chance. No chance. No chance.
Spence is so one-dimensional. Get on them niggas, because round this way, bro, Earl about to dog walk y'all, boy, and doing bad. So I'm not.
Oh, what? He's about to do what again? People, the chat, do me a favor. Okay. This is the only time I ask you to do this. But let's just act like today, September 13th, 2 days after 9/11. Let's just act like you all just visited the channel and you don't know shit about boxing. You just wondered about and stumbled upon this live stream. You're fairly new to YouTube and you heard him say this.
In Las Vegas and shit, and Bud need a knockout to win and shit. Man, I ain't trying to hear that shit, bro. Now, y'all want to talk about niggas making excuses? Get on them niggas over there, bro, that said this shit was going to be so easy. That Earl Spence is so one-dimensional. Get on them niggas, because round this way, bro, Earl about to dog walk y'all, boy. And do
round this way, bro. For all my listeners, I know this is your first day on the channel, okay? I am a Terrence Bud Crawford fan. This individual that you're listening to believes that a upcoming opponent of his is going to dog walk a fighter who has 40 victories, and he's already been undisputed. And this fight right here, though in a higher division at welterweight, is also going to be for undisputed, may potentially put this fighter that I support in a position to become the first in the four-belt era, two-time undisputed world champion. I know this is your first time, and I just wanted you all to kind of see what your shock value would have been if you stumbled upon this and heard it for the first time. Would it have been some type of belief? You know what I'm saying? Would have convinced you that around here, he gonna, you know, when you heard him say that with all that vigor, would you have been convinced that his fighter was going to potentially dog walk his opponent, Terrence Crawford? I'm just saying, if you just stumbled upon here today and you tried desperately to put yourself back in time, like you didn't know shit about this social media, man, just using your imagination, and you heard IPADPAGER say, around here, no, cuz, around here, your boy getting dog walked, man. Yeah, cuz.
doing bad. So I'm not trying to hear. I'm not trying to hear nothing about justifying or this is what he really meant. If the man really felt like it was easy like that, nigga, you not in 1 minute talking about, oh, I'm worried about it going to the scorecard because we fighting on the PBC the next time. Then the next minute, say Earl Spence is just made by the media. He a hype job and shit. Then the next minute, talking about Earl Spence fans is gonna move the goalposts if they win. Then the next minute, talking about nigga, I ain't trying to hear that shit, bro. Go ahead.
Wait. Can I just say one thing to that? Before you go, can I say one thing to that? I'm keeping the same energy though.
Hold on, let Brim go because I could.
All right, go ahead, Brim.
Yeah, because I didn't get a chance to even finish my statement because I don't want to hear that shit either. That's the thing I'm trying to say. I don't want to hear that shit, but to say it's not legitimate that it happens in boxing would be fugazi, but I don't want to hear that shit at the same token, though. You know what I mean? I don't want to hear that shit because I'm going to have an optimistic view because this fight's too big of a fight to even go to that aspect. And I think to go to that aspect is a cop-out to some degree. But to say it's not completely plausible in any capacity, knowing boxing history and how it operates, no, it's not. But I still don't want to hear that shit, though.
Can I?
That's why I'm at with it.
Shout out to
Ronnie, I'm listening.
That shit didn't be floating around, man.
Let me ask you something. I'm listening, all that you said.
I'm listening, Ronnie. Talk to me, bro. Go ahead.
All that you said, that Tim Bradley, Bo Mack, and Bernard Hopkins, all them what they said about the scorecards and judges. Did any of that come out of Terrence Crawford mouth?
It came. The closest I said, Bo Mack is head trainer. I did a video today on your boy. Go check it out. I said, look, I like what Terrence Crawford said because Terrence Crawford said, look, I ain't worried about no judge. I ain't worried about no refs. I'm worried about taking care of my business in the ring. That's how all them niggas should be talking.
And that should be the only thing you worried about, because
we gotta cover all this shit, bro.
Now you don't have to cover all of it, because for one, you're not covering Diddy James. See, you have convinced and shown people that you all about one fighter. So you can't get on here and say you're gonna cover everything just because you want people to start talking about Bomac and they find it easy to poke fun or make comments and all that shit. The coaches are the coaches, and we seen clearly that you all was more focused on something that didn't have anything to do with your argument. You had no idea the capacity for which Bomac was able to go in there and do exactly what I said. He was going to out-coach Diddy James. And I said I didn't think Errol Spence IQ was better than Terrence Crawford. So to sum it up, I didn't think Diddy James can out-coach Bomac, nor did I think Errol Spence can out-think Terrence Bud Crawford. I didn't think his IQ exceeded that of Bud Crawford. That was my exact words. You know what I'm saying? I just didn't think he had it. I think both of them was on the same sheet, Diddy James and Spence, when they kept saying, "Oh man, you ain't fought nobody, you ain't fought nobody." They truly believe that what isn't broke don't need fixing. But what happened if it breaks under the bright lights? And the boxing IQ says that Errol Spence can't fix it. He don't know how to fix it because he's never been there. He's never placed himself in a scenario. He was just going off basically himself and not the person that he was competing against. I'm just saying, man.
Bomac can't fight for Terrence Crawford, bro. Bomac can't fight.
Bro, can I say something? KO got every right to. I know Derek James say some goofy shit, so he got every right to go at Bomac for saying some shit he think is goofy.
Exactly. Listen, bro, he gonna be in his motherfucking ear. He is head trainer and shit.
Right.
Listen. Even things about that, like when you saying, listen, I get it. Derek James is twice the trainer that Bomac will ever be, probably 3 times the trainer. However,
you hear that? You hear the hate and discontent? Derek James is 3 times the trainer than Bomac will ever be. See, you have individuals up here looking at appearance. I guess they was looking at All Access and they saw Diddy James on the roadway. Who the fuck gave permission for the camera crew to go up here and film a coach jogging, doing some road work? He ain't fighting. Just like he didn't know what to do when it came to Bomac say, "Hey, take that jab and turn it into a hook." I mean, he was giving unbelievable instructions, bro. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful instructions, which we have been on record. We have been on record as hearing them play out, right? Right? We have been on record before hearing it all play out in front of us. We know how it looks and how it sounds.
Fucking slow for you, all right? You get a chance, counter that fucking jab over the fucking top. Sometimes turn that jab into a hook, all right? You don't have nothing left. You keep me to stay on the inside, catch and counter.
Diddy James be twice the trainer, 3 times the trainer Bomac will ever be. That's what he said, right?
When you have a special fighter,
sometimes they
let me finish. When you have a special a special fighter, sometimes the fighter can transcend bad coaching. Like, you know this, KO. You played sports.
Yeah, I know.
You played college ball. I played college.
Stop it. Stop it, man. Who cares about college ball? We're talking about boxing at the end of the day with 3 X's. You talking about college ball, man. Stop it. Who cares? College ball doesn't equate to the professional ranks unless you make it, unless you make the transition. Who cares about college? Who cares, bro?
College ball. Sometimes bad, like you have a great transcendent talent. And I'm not saying like Bud Crawford is some like generational talent. I'm not saying that. But when you have a great talent, you can transcend bad coaching if you're that good of a talent. And you know this.
But what makes y'all think, like, I'm really curious, bro. What makes y'all think Bud is that, bro?
You asking me? You asking me or them? Oh, my fault. I keep on forgetting. This is something that happened last year. I keep on forgetting.
We watch it.
I mean, it's just an eye test, bro. It's like watching Monster Inuit. You know, you kind of know.
Got
Like,
20/80 vision.
KO, you know why you get on my nerves with this against who though, man? Stop acting like Errol Spence got a Sugar Ray Leonard resume. I've been
Man, god damn, he was on their ass. He was on they MFing ass, shawty. He say, stop talking that bullshit, man. Y'all keep saying the same thing over and over again. His resume. You up here acting like Errol Spence at that point in time had this unbelievable resume. He squeaked out a win against his first tough opponent in Sean Porter after he picked up the IBF title. He barely squeaked out a split decision. And then we're not even going to talk about the third title he picked up, multiple losses. You know what I'm saying? At least he had a Pacquiao to his resume, but Pacquiao had, 166 fights? Man, come on, man. Tell him what's up.
saying this I will say this to the cows come on.
I'm not saying like Buck.
Listen, let me finish what I'm saying before you pop off on me. Listen, Spence-Crawford is
curious, bro. What makes y'all think Bud is that, bro?
We watch it.
I mean, it's just an eye test, bro. It's like watching Monster Inuit. You know, you kind of know. Like,
20/80 vision.
KO, you know why you get on my nerves with this against who though, man? Stop acting like Errol Spence got a Sugar Ray Leonard resume. I've been saying this I will say this to the cows come on. Listen, let me finish what I'm saying before you pop off on me. Listen, Spence-Crawford is one Danny Garcia duck away from having almost an identical record, identical resume at 147, man.
I said Errol Spence's resume is not all that.
Errol Spence has 11 less fights than Terrence Crawford, right? He has 11 less fights than Terrence Crawford. Crawford has 11 more wins than Errol Spence. But Errol Spence, his opponents have 200 more wins than Crawford's opponents, with Crawford having 11 more wins. Now, shut up.
So that means they just got more fights in. That's all that means.
Oh, bro.
Doesn't mean that
resume is not all that, bro. He's better than
KO, you know why you get on my nerves with this against who though, man? Stop acting like Errol Spence got a Sugar Ray Leonard resume. I've been saying this I will say this to the cows come on. Listen, let me finish what I'm saying before you pop off on me. Listen, Spence-Crawford is one Danny Garcia duck away from having almost an identical record, identical resume at 147, man.
I said Errol Spence's resume is not all that, bro.
Errol Spence has 11 less fights than Terrence Crawford, right? He has 11 less fights than Terrence Crawford. Crawford has 11 more wins than Errol Spence. But Errol Spence, his opponents have 200 more wins than Crawford's opponents, with Crawford having 11 more wins. Now, shut up.
So that means they just got more fights in. That's all that means.
Oh, bro.
That doesn't mean they got more fights in. I mean, you okay? Listen, okay. You know what? I hope Errol Spence he can carry that resume with him. That he can bring all their records on his back and get in that ring and just pow, right? Fuck out of here. Who gives a shit? We gonna find out if Errol Spence's ability to utilize the jab and do his body work and be on the front foot and actually showing in spurts that he can be the handle being on the back foot. Because I believe Bud is going to use smart pressure to try to offset Errol Spence and to make him lose rhythm. So he has to be on his back foot at times. That's only going to happen in the early part of the fight. That's what I believe. Because to me, Spence is a rhythm fighter. He's like a locomotive train. The more he gets going, the more of a problem that he is.
All the words that y'all hearing, man.
Y'all
just every word that come out. All the new words that come out.
That's
Spence is a locomotive train. If you don't if you don't slow him down, he will run you over. He can run you. He'll give you a slow beating.
KO, I'm about to step down.
How y'all know y'all
All right,
so much?
take it easy, bro. Y'all go subscribe to Upper Echelon Sports Bar, man.
Listen, that little stat you had up about the more wins and all that yada yada. Let's not act like Mikey Garcia wasn't most of those wins.
Hey, knockout, man. My bad, man.
But you got 11 more fights.
Man, I just want to say salute to the panel.
Let me answer.
I can't get up into all this arguing.
finish. But the problem is that you'll be taught when y'all talk about Bud, well, that was 135, 140, that was the lower weight class. Mikey Garcia shit is lower weight class. So what's good for the goose is good for gander. All that shit he did before then, that's fine to Danny. But at 147, did he establish and do anything other than getting his ass beat by Earl Spence?
Garcia. I didn't say that Mikey Garcia did anything at 147, but what I am telling you is that Mikey Garcia is better than Yuriokis Gamboa. He's better than Victor Postol. He's better than Julius Ndongo.
I wish we could have.
Hey, he said he was better than all those people. But you know, when it came to debates and they want to talk about putting butts in the seat, this same voice you hearing is up here talking about Errol Spence. Errol Spence did that when Mikey Garcia had a resume that Errol Spence would never be able to achieve. And they just basically discounted every Mexican boxing fan that potentially could have been on deck, that was on deck, when they want to talk about putting butts in the seats. They said Spence did it. Whenever you heard them talk about putting butts in the seat, business of boxing, they said Spence did it. They didn't give Mikey Garcia the credit. They didn't give Mikey Garcia the credit. They was always talking about when it came to money, Spence did it. Mikey Garcia, a 4-weight champion. Came in 126 pounder. 4-weight champion, bro. Came up 2 weight divisions. No, WCS, he came up 140. He wasn't at 140 when he came to 147. He had dropped back down to 35 and then skipped over 140 back up to 147. But, you know, they praised the shit out of Spence for that until the T-Mobile massacre.
Found out instead he went the other direction, though.
Didn't have to chase the names alone.
He's better than all of them.
That's the resume alone.
Mikey Garcia didn't want to fight.
All I'm also telling you is that Terrence Crawford got his first belt off of Jeff Horn fighting in his hometown. Earl Spence got his first belt off of Kell Brook fighting in Sheffield, England, where Kell Brook is from.
But he's not going to talk about where Terrence Crawford fought Ricky Burns at. You know what I'm saying? I mean, come on, bro. Let's see if he goes there.
All I'm telling you is that while Earl Spence was fighting a fucking 4th division champion and fucking Mikey Garcia, who was undefeated on the pound for pound list, Bud Crawford was fighting fucking Amir Khan, who got knocked out by Breeders Prescott, who Bud had already knocked out, who also got knocked out by Danny Garcia, who also got knocked out by motherfucking Canelo Alvarez. While fucking Bud Crawford was fighting fucking mean.
But let's talk about that, because Bud didn't knock out Amir Khan. He was dog walking him, but he didn't knock him out. So once again, that's irrelevant to the conversation. That's irrelevant to the conversation about Amir Khan. Because if you're not going to hold Canelo accountable for fighting a fighter that was already knocked out by Prescott, this is irrelevant. This is an irrelevant date. I mean, this is irrelevant freaking information. There's no need to even talk about it. Because we know Amir Khan had that loose light switch in his head, and you barely tap it. You know what I'm saying? You blow out a candle, Amir Khan might get hit. But Terrence didn't knock him out. He quit. He didn't want to face another knockout. So he quit. He was claiming that Crawford hit him in the nuts, and he quit. So what does this have to do with anything with him fighting Amir Khan? Because he didn't knock Amir out. He had a knockdown, but he didn't knock him out like he had been knocked out with the previous opponents and what you see on the highlight reel. That's why you can see the biasness. You know what I'm saying?
Earl Spence was fighting fucking Danny Garcia, who was a 2 division former unified champion, who knocked out a guy that's on fucking
Well, that's amazing. You know that they would be boasting up Danny Garcia, who fought for a vacant title upon his entry into the 147-pound division. And from then on, who did he give his title to? The one time Keith Thurman, KT one time. He lost his belt to Keith Thurman one time. You know what I'm saying? That was when it was one-time Thurman. You know what I'm saying? That's when it was one-time Thurman. Who did he fight upon entry? Robert the Ghost Guerrero. So what did he do after that? Did he ever unify? No. He had a chance to fight for the WBC again against Sean Porter. He lost it. No. Why are we using him as a reference to build up your point? Why, bro?
147. I'm not letting you go.
You're gonna give Errol Spence all this freaking over the top, saturated credit for facing Danny Garcia, a guy that he was sitting at the fight with that Ryan Garcia made a bet with obviously a friend who chose to take a paycheck and move around with Errol Spence in the ring. Just went in there and then he just moved around with him. But yet you want to use Danny Garcia and boost him up? No. Come back, revisit this right here. 2 hours plus, revisit this after he get out the ring with Laura. Then he goes in there and he win the belt against Laura. Then you might be able to brag on Danny Garcia.
To the Pro Bowl, KO. The boy's solid.
No, he's not finished though.
Ultimate fucking tune-up, KO. Now let you go to Pro Bowl with that shit.
Let me finish. Y'all wanted this resume work so we can talk about their resumes. While hold on, Carl. While Earl Spence was fighting and taking a belt from fucking Sean Porter, Bud Crawford was fighting fucking Jose Benavidez on one fucking leg defending his belt. While Earl Spence.
See, everything when it comes to Bud is gonna have to be a blemish. Since this is in the past, I'm gonna fast forward a little bit because it makes no sense to. Look, I just wanted you to be aware that this type of community dialogue conversation existed. You know what I'm saying? It's like before the ground get a little bit too difficult, a little bit too hard to excavate these type of fossils. I just want to go by and retrieve them a little bit and revisit them for content to the boxing fans. You know, being that we're outside the 1 year anniversary of T-Mobile, I just had to revisit this. Plus, I was hoping that this guy who keeps commenting on my freaking live stream, his ghostwriter, that he would click the link because he say be a man to man, but he won't come over here and click the link. I guess I have to. They want to instruct me to do shit. That's what they want to do. They feel some type of way about the military. You know, they want to instruct me. They want to give me orders. Show up here at 1500 hours, man to man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, okay, I got it, bro.
Antonio Tarver ain't never had a positive word to say about Earl. Roy Jones ain't had.
Because if he don't throw the ball, leave himself open and get hit with a pick or get pieced up.
He may not throw 80. He might throw more, bro.
More than 80? So if he does that, I guarantee he loses. How about that?
So you're telling me that Spence-Crawford is going to turn up his punch-out pit to kind of counter all of the shots?
You have to lower your punch-out pit. I'll put versus Spence-Crawford, or you're going to lose.
Or you're going to get knocked out.
Boy, look, I think this is Brim. I think. Kind of sound like MKB Brim. I think it's Brim. But, man, he was making some solid fire, blistering. First degree arsonist. Wildfire. Doused in gasoline. Blowtorch.
The best way to beat Crawford is to counterpunch him. You counterpunch the counterpuncher.
Bro, that makes no sense. I would have counterpunched.
Damn, he was making some good points. He said you counterpuncher. What? Hey, look. What happened? What if Errol Spence would have did that? That's sort of what Madrimov did. Madrimov tried to lure Crawford in, and he was able to land some pretty good shots. You know what I'm saying? He was able to land some pretty decent shots. He wasn't really the forceful, aggressive fighter, you know what I'm saying, that we thought Madrimov would be. So he stayed back and just came Faint Master Marv and wanted to freaking counter Crawford coming in. This is exactly what this cat was talking about. Maybe he was on, well, it wasn't maybe, he was on to something. Very, very solid assessment. Very solid, educated assessment.
Y'all let me get Jay in here and then get JD in here, but I'm gonna tell y'all this before I do, bro. I'm just gonna let y'all know some real shit. If Bud Crawford that fought motherfucking Mean Machine or motherfucker fought Avenesian in his last fight, if that nigga show up, bro, that nigga getting stepped on badly.
Yeah, stepped on.
Just so we all clear, bro. Yeah. That nigga look like if he look like that, bro. And they getting stepped on, and y'all know it, bro.
Y'all praying for it. Y'all praying for it. Keep praying for it.
You have a right to think that way. I respect you feeling that way. We finna find out.
Everybody for 100 push-ups, bro. What's up?
What's up?
Much as I want to bet, I keep forgetting, because he reminded me of my age. I keep forgetting this is something that I'm bringing out. This is a fossil, that I dug up, and I just want to remind the people it actually exists. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, now you want to do push.
Got out there pretty fun with me.
Shout out, Matthew Thomas with the $2 in the super chat. Says, brace yourself for the breakage.
Right? This nigga Arrow is an Olympian. Tell me when the fuck Bud has ever represented this country.
Okay. I like this guy Jay. Okay, he's talking about representing this country, which I have. I've represented the country, but you have individuals who are extremely jealous of me representing my country in uniform, like they was out there with the pack on their back when they was going through all those deployments and riding those helo crafts and freaking and sub below goddamn temperatures in Korea and all these other countries that I had to freaking deploy. He asked, when have Bud Crawford represented his country? And salute for being an Olympian. On the flip side of that pancake, when the burner is too hot, bread burns easy. He did not make it to where he could have made it to basically charge for a medal, to make a charge for the medal. We know that he was on one of the worst Olympic teams when it comes to the males, because there's only 2 competitors out of that year that came home with medals. You know what I'm saying? Seriously. I commend him for being an Olympian, but should we talk about his Olympic presence when it was one of the worst showings? And then to pretty much say, oh, we're going to give him an option to return because they felt that he should have won, and he turns around and lose and say, oh, I lost my mojo. I lost my mojo. I lost my mojo. I lost my mojo. You can't tell Keyshawn that, because Keyshawn was kicked out of the Olympic Center and then returned to compete and walked up out that motherfucker with a silver medal. You can't tell him he lost his mojo, goddammit, because Keyshawn popped out that bitch, like goddamn Kendrick said. Sometimes you have to pop out and show a nigga. That's what Keyshawn did. He came out, he got them professional wins, and then he dipped back into the Olympics and won a silver medal. God damn it. He didn't lose his mojo, man.
Let alone Omaha. And we knew about Omaha before Bud. We knew about Texas, though. And we know other fighters that came from Texas that are prolific, right? One of them's undisputed and it's modern. Now, the only thing that Bud is holding on to is the fact that he was undisputed at 140.
How you holding on to that? See, man, some of y'all just saying some idiotic type shit. How's he holding on to it? Look, it's a part of his freaking career. He don't have to hold on to shit. Even when he walked through the doors of his freaking mansion, he don't have to hold on to no motherfucking belts he won at 140. They are on display. That shit transfers from division to division. He don't have to hold on to shit. When they announce his name, he's not holding on to a flash. Here. Make sure you say I was undisputed 140. Make sure you say it. I want to hold on to it. No, it is a part of his career. He don't have to hold on to shit. He beat Julius Ndongo when Ndongo was undefeated. He don't have to hold on to a motherfucking thing. But you all do. Y'all hold on to it to think that you can dip it in the trash can, step on it, spit on it, you know what I'm saying? Throw it in the dumpster, make sure it hit all the corners, get it as dirty as possible, and think nobody's going to remember. But after all that you said, the only person that smelled like shit, looked like shit, and loved being a part of shit is the ones that keep on hating on his career. And the good thing about that whole freaking, that whole July 29th, 2023, the real good part about that is that it eradicated the entire fan base of Errol Spence Jr. That was the first eradication in Las Vegas, man, I think that's ever happened in boxing, where an entire fan base was eradicated, y'all. Eradicated.
But guess what? I don't hear that same tune about him going to be twice undisputed. How y'all was saying. First, it was the problem about him making money. So he went and fought Avanesian, what nobody wanted to see. Y'all lied and said he made 10 million, couldn't prove it, right? And now we talking about how he gonna transcend coaching. Like, which one is it? Are y'all on dope, bro? Where is it? I need to know where it is so I can make.
Where you at, though? Where you at? I mean, because you sound familiar. Where you at, though? For real, because I haven't heard you back out here on the scene. I hope you didn't put in your resignation. I hope you didn't resign. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. I hope you just flat out quit supporting your favorite fighter.
Some money, bro.
Hey, they about to start yelling at y'all. They about to start yelling at your ass. Amir Khan ain't beat no great fighters, bro. Now you want
Amir Khan is not great. What's wrong with y'all, yo?
He beat Marcos Maidana. He ain't a great fighter, but he come on, he beat.
So my question was, it's not about just overcoming subpar, okay coaching, whatever words you want to use. Can you overcome subpar coaching when you're going against another elite talent that has elite coaching behind him too?
Great question. Great question. What I would say, iPad Pager, is that the question that you just asked, I would suggest this. If this still a question that when you in the corner sipping on that barefoot, right? This is what I would suggest you do. All you have to do, for one, matter of fact, let me help you out. Let me help you out for a second. Let me help you out. I'm here to assist, okay? Because that's a great question. You know, a lot of time that was taken in this was individuals who was lost at the time. You know what I'm saying? I get it. I get it. He was lost. But let me get you this right here. Hold up for a second. Don't go nowhere. I'm about to you know. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's it right there, man. You know what I'm saying? To answer that question, though, let's go right here. Let me post this up here. Okay, damn. Hold on. So let's go back a little bit to what he just asked.
So my question was, it's not about just overcoming subpar, okay coaching, whatever words you want to use. Can you overcome subpar coaching when you're going against another elite talent that has elite coaching behind him too?
Yes, you can. It's happening. Yes, you can.
I want to. Let me be the first one to answer because I stay quiet.
Elite coaching. If you can check the screenshot, elite coaching. Could you overcome elite coaching?
I'm gonna be the first one to answer. First of all, I personally believe that you're not putting enough respect on his overall team and all the people that's part of that family that work with Terrence Crawford. Can I finish? Okay, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna mute myself.
Simple. You giving all these.
Listen, can I answer the question, or you gonna interrupt me answering it? I can just mute myself. Can I answer the fucking question and you just listen and be the fuck quiet instead of listening to it respond? Can you please be quiet for a second? Thank you, bro.
Oh, boy.
I'm trying to answer the question. Shut the hell up for a second so I can answer it, please. Listen, even if you think it's bullshit, let me get my fucking thoughts out, please.
Bro, answer the question. You don't have to tell him how to ask you the question. The question.
Thank you. I'm answering the question.
Dope as usual.
The team that surrounds Terrence Crawford is not below class, low class. You're understating the value of the entire team. Yes, Derrick James, we can say he's a better trainer than Bomac in the sense of what he's accomplished with his fighters. But it's not going to be some type of gap you're going to ride on with. It's going to make a difference when these guys in the ring. I'm telling you right now.
Hey, I think that's Brim, man. That motherfucker was on fire. On fire, man. Anybody in the chat know who that is to just make that point? Who was that? Let me see. Sounds like Brim. It sounds like MKB or Brim. I think with the quick turnaround, it sounds more like freaking Brim though. But anyway, back to what I was saying, man. He made solid points. It says it's not gonna matter because the game plan is what it is. So to sit up here and look and look, if he was even man enough to come over here and click the link, he would have said, "Well, you the one said that you don't think that Bo Mack can be outcoached by Diddy James." So that's pretty much the same thing. I said, yes, I don't think Diddy James can outcoach Bo Mack, but they're making it seem like it's impossible. I didn't make it seem like it was impossible. I just said I don't think Derrick James can outcoach Bo Mack, nor do I think Errol Spence can outbox Terrence Crawford or outthinking when it comes to boxing IQ. That's what I meant.
Now, Terrence Crawford has the entire team that's more than just Bo Mack, and those guys give him different aspects in regards to what he needs to accomplish in the ring.
Good point, man. This dude is an erupting volcano, bro. For real. This dude was erupting volcano because if you remember, Diddy James did make a point to say Crawford had 4 people on his team. Something like that. He said, yeah, he got damn near 4 people on his team. See, that's what happens. What did I always say about Diddy James? He's not receptive to having different eyes in there helping him out. He's selected to put out to the public. He ain't watching film. You know what I'm saying? He ain't watching film. So what point does it make to say that you want to compliment what he's been able, the wars that he's been able to win with a Mel Charlo and Spence? But then when it comes to Spence's biggest opportunity, his largest, grandest moment to become undisputed, because that was his declaration. That was his absolute declaration. Now you want to more so look at Bo Mack's weight. You want to say he ain't had nobody special. He had Crawford. You didn't hear him? He said, sit back and watch us do it. We've been here already. You didn't hear him? He said, I've been here already, got the t-shirt. He didn't even give Diddy James the respect as if he had Mel Charlo as an undisputed. Why? Because Mel Charlo wasn't with him for the camp when he was training for Brian Castano for the rematch. He had left. Man, the real ones know it. The real ones know it. The real ones know it. That's why Bo Mack said, I've been here, done that already. So you're working to get Spence undisputed. I've been there with Crawford already, with Julius and Dongo.
Y'all understated, and that's cool. We get to find out because what you're saying ain't facts until it's proven.
KO, can I ask you a question, KO?
Question. You don't like that answer. Shut your ass up.
Hey, everybody chill the hell out, brother.
Hey, this the way it used to be, the temperature, though. You know what I'm saying? Whoever this guy is, you know, Brim, man, he was on fire, bro. He had all his weaponry, and he was in condition 1. Condition 1 is ready to motherfucking fire, ready to engage the target. Boy, god damn, man. They was heavy that this was going to go one way. They was thinking like me, but for the wrong fighter.
Boxing talk, man, damn.
Yeah, I answer your question, KO, if you want me to.
Boxing talk, my nigga, calm down. So, Brim, I hear what you're saying, bro.
Yeah, that's Brim.
But here's the thing, and this is why I put an emphasis on Bo Mack, because all that shit sound good, but when the shit hit the fan, bro, when they get under fire, and it's round 4, 5, 6, adjustments need to get made. We get into the back half of this motherfucker. It's gonna be Bo Mack the one talking, bro. So all that shit sound good. Watching Esau give him instructions in the goddamn media workout, and he hitting the mitts with him and shit, and he got this trainer, he got that trainer. When it come time, when they get in that motherfucking corner, it's always Bo Mack doing the talking. So I'm talking.
So, you know, he had this infatuation with very little respect for Bo Mack. You know, people tend to go off with the way somebody looks, and they want to act like that has some to discredit their intelligence. Bo Mack said, I eat knowledge. You know what I'm saying? And this where these light-skinned cats like him, they want to sit up here and talk about, you know, they're smarter than somebody just based off how somebody look. When Bo Mack is the one that's on the level, he's on the championship level. He's been knowing Crawford before he was born. You know what I'm saying? He been in Omaha for the longest of time. So I think that was something that weighed the scales heavy when it came to him, balancing out the credit he wanted to give Bomac for making this a competitive fight. He didn't want to give him no credit. He just wanted to go with his fighter that he supported, and he wanted to find every excuse in the book as to why Bomac wasn't qualified to go head up with freaking Diddy James, even though as a team in tandem they had already visited the undisputed realm. They had walked, they have earned it, they had went to the summit, bro. They stood on the ridge line and celebrated. They had already became undisputed. But they up here talking like Bomac didn't do shit. Oh, who gives a fuck about Julius Ndongo? He was fucking undefeated when Crawford beat him. He had 2 motherfucking championships to his name. And they want to act like Julius Ndongo didn't matter.
Talking from that
all because of his performances after Crawford.
Perspective of when I see Jermell Charlo, the only reason he lost the first motherfucking not lost.
See, here he goes making excuses for PBC fighters. Let's hear it.
The only reason he drawed the first fucking Castano fight because he wasn't fucking listening to Derrick James. He got
that's the only reason he drawed the first Brian Castano because he wasn't listening to Derrick James. So y'all gonna give Jared Anderson the same excuses? The only reason he lost to freaking McCauley is because he wasn't listening to Sugar Hill? And y'all gonna give him excuse? Because it didn't matter. Brian Castano was on that night. They prepared. They didn't prepare well for Brian Castano. And that's why Jermell Charlo left in preparation for his rematch against Brian Castano. You know, if you went to fights, you would know this info.
Got pristine instructions.
iPad pager.
I saw Derrick James fire. When I watched Jermell Charlo and fucking Tony Harrison the first time, he lost, in my opinion, because he wasn't doing what Derrick James told him to.
So check this out. Let WCS help you out, bro. I've heard people giving high value to Diddy James, right? When it came to Crawford, going in there and matching his freaking knowledge in the art of war and combat against Bomac. But then you want to come up with a whole Brinks truck, an entire freaking 747 of excuses as to why Jermell Charlo looked a certain way in both of his performances at 154 and Tony Harrison and Brian Castano won. You want to say, oh, he wasn't listening. So you trying to tell me he wasn't listening with Tony Harrison? So stand with the same world-class furniture store elite trainer. He turned right back around and Brian Castano won and didn't listen again? So you trying to tell me he listened to his trainer against Jason Rosario? So what happened between Jason Rosario and Brian Castano? Why he wasn't listening again, bro? Why? Did he owe him money?
In that first fucking fight. When I watched Frank Martin, he looked subpar the last time I seen him fight because he wasn't listening to what Derrick James was telling him.
So in the military, if you have a troop that's not listening to you, you find a way for them to listen to you, right? You find a way. It's no them affecting the mission to the point where it makes headlines and it gets back to the command. They're gonna go to the higher ups, the leadership. It's gonna go from the top down. We're not gonna go for this bullshit I'm listening to right now. Talking about his fighters having bad performance. Why are they not listening to him? If you are carrying an elite medal, that tag on your chest, why aren't your fighters listening to you? You should ask yourself, if you're gonna speak on this man and his fighters not listening to him, now you need to try to dig a little deeper as to why this elite trainer, his fighters are ignoring them when they're in the art of war. You can't just brush over there. Oh, it's the fighter's fault. They weren't listening. That's the reason why he had a bad. Jermell Charlo, he wasn't listening to his trainer. It's the fighter's fault. Jermell Charlo going in there with Brian Castano, it's his fault. He wasn't listening to his trainer.
Have seen Derrick James every single time when the shit hit the fan, when it's a big moment for his fighters. That motherfucker always calm. He always looking at they op and saying, this is what you need to do. Boom, 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 boom.
Now, speaking of boom, 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 when have you zoom, 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 zoom and land for a fight week with a credential Jojo Jones around your neck. When have you been there on site? You in Texas? Huh? You in Texas? It don't matter where you at. You in Texas, and you didn't get with IOTBA boxing or something, not one time. Just say, hey man, is it any way? Real talk, man. I know. We had our differences, but hey man, I'm trying to grow my channel, right? The other day I had 500, man. I think if I get up in that world class furniture store, I can increase my shit to 600 or 700. Is there any way, IO, you can, for the 214 from across the pond, can you help a brother out? Just want to get up in the world class furniture store and be able to do what you was doing. Can you get me there, please? I just want to see EJ. Hey, EJ, when you say his name, I think about him all the time. Hey, EJ. He wanted EJ. You never was able to get close enough to get in contact with somebody to go to the world-class furniture store so you can see for the first time, you can cover, you can. What's up with all these dudes in Texas and they support EJ so heavy back then, but they was never able to get up in that goddamn world-class furniture store. Even before he even moved into the world-class furniture. Where were y'all? Where were you all when he was fighting Carlos Ocampo in his backyard? Where were y'all when he fought Mikey Garcia, bro? Where were y'all at, man? Why couldn't you all let it be known? Why didn't anyone vouch for you all to say, hey, Diddy James, we have so many content creators. I mean, some of the best, elite in social media history. We was wondering, can you have a media day where they can come in and get a glimpse of the champ, y'all? Reigning, defending, unified. Is there any way? Or how many subscribers? It doesn't matter. They got subscribers. How many views they have per? I don't know. You talking about organically or the ones they buy? I don't know. Okay. How many fights? How many credentials have they did? Oh, I know that for a fact. 0. They haven't covered no motherfucking fights. Hell no, they can't get up in here. I need people who's been to the fights, who's making the dedication and sacrifices.
And when them niggas listen to them, they go out that bitch and they perform. So when I'm saying advantages, bro, when I'm talking about the trainers, all that getting Bud ready, giving him the strategy, that shit important. I'm not saying that shit is not important to have a good team around you. What I'm saying, the most important thing in this fight, because that nigga Bud in shape, bro. Like I seen the motherfucking media workout. That nigga Earl in shape, bro. These boy.
Oh my God, bro. Do y'all hear this? You know me. I just want to take a little time to show you some screenshots. You know what I'm saying? I just want to show y'all some screenshots right quick. All right. Errol Spence camp is way better than Terrence Crawford camp, and that would be matter. That will all matter in 729. Here go another one. Rumors: Errol Spence versus Terrence Crawford doing a 50-50 split. Great news: Errol Spence activates rematch clause. Fight prediction: Errol Spence versus Terrence Crawford. This fight would not be close, y'all. Errol Spence is scary. Scooby. Errol Spence in scary shape, y'all. Terrence Crawford fans are accusing him of using steroids, who's with Snack. Just because Bud was with Snack, they want to accuse Victor Conte. You know what I'm saying? Victor Conte of having Terrence Crawford on some type of supplements to enhance that ass whooping. The same thing they did after the T-Mobile massacre. Let's go to this one right here. Terrence Crawford and his diehard fans need to understand resume and experience are the same thing. Look at all this. You know what I'm saying? Look at all that. He proved me dead wrong by destroying Errol Spence. For a moment, He had a breather to understand that he was on the wrong side of history. He was on the wrong side of history. All the bullshit that he allowed to be spewed, all the rhetoric and agitprop that was being poured out over there with the hatred, the smear campaigns that was being ran. Boy, a whole entire fan base eradicated. Eradicated, y'all. Let's get back to close this down, bro. Let me go back.
Was in shape. You hear me?
Both of them.
So with that,
hey, remember when your kid's in sports, you look across that whatever, the court, the field, all that. You say, hey, that kid right there, don't worry about it because you in shape. What you mean by that? You in shape. I know you said that the first time, but he's faster than me. But you in shape.
being said, bro, the training aspect is gonna come in when them niggas get in that corner in between rounds.
Oh yeah.
When the motherfucker if Earl go in that bitch and have a good fourth round, and Bud coming back to the motherfucking corner looking for answers. Get your
If Bud coming back to the ring looking for what are you say it ain't so. Say it ain't
Too fucking slow for you. Alright? You get a chance, counter that fucking jab over the fucking top. Sometimes turn that jab into a hook, alright? You don't have nothing left. You can stay on the inside. Catch and counter.
Bang. Draw the curtains. It's over. Draw the curtains. It's over. And what were you saying again? That light skin
rhythm ain't gonna fucking cut it, my nigga.
I got one for you.
Ain't gonna cut it, my nigga.
I got one for you,
if Bud have a good.
First of all, I don't like you using the N-word. You have 3.5%, black in you. I don't like how you use the N-word. It doesn't sound right. It sounds like you're putting the on there. You know what I'm saying? It seems like I feel like I'm being oppressed. When you say that N with the on it, man. Damn.
Around, catch him with a counter, do some shit, firing around. Earl gonna go right back to that motherfucking corner. Derrick James be looking at that nigga. He caught you because of this. He caught you because you stepped here when you should have did this. So next time when you get in that position, this is what you do to make sure he don't catch you with that shit no more. The difference, my nigga. That's
amazing to hear people give these breakdowns where they can't produce any type of media content or footage inside a boxing gym. Yeah, I would believe this type of energy if I could go through your catalog and see you in a gym. Seriously, if you just been in a gym, man, and you was able to basically produce some content with some fighters, whether it be professional or amateur, man, these cats are just faking it, bro. They just wearing a costume, acting like, just because they have rising inflection of the voice, they really up here fucking with fighters. Really, he is fucking with fighters. But he ain't fucking with fighters. He ain't going up there supporting them and putting in the time and effort. You know what I'm saying? IO, he's been known to go to gyms over there. Yeah, he's been known. But maybe they didn't want to show no love to IO because they was busy beefing with him. And they didn't know what it took to kind of cross that bridge. That could have been your connect. That could have been your connect, bro. That could have been your connect, man. But these cats talking what training should do. And these cats are not doing the small things. Like styles don't make fights. Man, this media shit don't jive, man. You don't have the receipts from the gym. It doesn't jive to me. You talking all like you have all this intensity, but you ain't smelling the sweat and the musk. And you ain't ringside looking at these fighters that's coming up in your backyard and paying attention to their style, paying attention to how they sparring. Who is DM you and say, hey man, I want to invite you to sparring. You good? No, man, I can't get permission for that shit, dog.
That's what I'm talking about. So when I asked the question to bring it all back around for y'all, bro. Okay. When I say all this great talent and shit, that's cool, but can great talent with subpar coaching, can it transcend somebody that's also a great talent but got a coach that's equally as talented, my nigga? There's a reason.
My nigga. He called Bomac subpar trainer, y'all. He was already a champion trainer. He called him a subpar trainer. That's just hate. That's just straight up hate right there. And he paid the price. Y'all hold on for a second. Yo, I'm back, man. Still, Spence still hasn't given one of them channels an interview yet. They called Bomac subpar, yo. Derrick James told him to do the EJ against Tony Harrison. That night at the Barclays, I was right there when he said it. Damn, do the EJ. You know what I'm saying? Was that a reason why Mel Charlo selected not to listen to his trainer? Seriously. Wouldn't been here already, sit back and watch, you might learn some. Yeah, if they would go to a gym. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? If they went to a gym. Real talk. Elite coaching. Errol, Jamel, Frank Martin, below par. AJ, who changed trainers immediately. Truck cheat Ryan. Well, you gotta look at it this way, Toby. I think he was in the fight. He was in two fights. You know what I'm saying? He was in the fight with him and Jermaine Franklin, and he was in the fight with him and Robert Helenius. I think. I think he was there with the Robert Helenius fight. But Anthony Joshua, he was out of there when it came to him getting that big money heading over to the sand. He was gone. He said, "No, I'm done here." And Anthony Joshua, to me, it really didn't seem like that was where he was supposed to be anyway. Seriously.
He's an AJ, Frank Martin, Ryan Garcia, Jamel Charlo. They're like, we may not see it, but there's a reason these niggas like, yo, Derek, yo, Earl, is it cool if I fuck with Derek too? There's a reason for that shit, my nigga. And I think it's gonna
He get the job done.
I got
Well,
you.
it's a valuable point that you're making as well. It's a valuable point, but I'm
hold
gonna tell
up,
you.
y'all. Let me say this right quick. I got the perfect scenario for you, KO. When
Perfect
you said,
scenario.
can a
Talk
great
to me,
a transcendent fighter with subpar coaching defeat a transcendent fighter with great training? You said that. I give you this. When you really examine things, Roger Mayweather was not that great of a trainer. He did not give you that great of instruction. Roger Mayweather. Let me say. Let me finish without interrupting.
He got
God
a point
damn.
though.
Ain't nobody say nothing, bro. Go ahead.
Oh, somebody said something.
No, you ready to jump the gun, niggas? Quiet the motherfucker. Get the shit out.
I know where he going
I'm like,
with.
let
He
me
got a
finish.
point though.
Listen, Roger Mayweather, he really didn't get that great
Everybody got a
instruction
result back to
when you
Floyd.
really listen to him in between rounds. He really didn't say too much, except for, no, he ain't doing but throwing that motherfucker. Oh, he ain't doing shit. that was pretty much his entire instruction. Floyd Mayweather was such a great talent that he transcended back. I'm not. God rest his soul. You know, I like Roger.
He got a good point though. He
One of the
point.
good
That's what
guys,
I'm trying
but
to say.
he was not that great of a trainer or instructor in the corner. Floyd Mayweather's talent got him through the Nacho Beresteins of the world, got him through the Freddie Roaches of the world, got him through the Yoel Judas of the world. Transcendent coaching. I mean, a transcendent fighter can transcend bad coaching against a transcendent fighter with great coaching. If
I
that
agree
talent
with
is
you
that
on
special.
that. I agree with you on that point, but this is where we disagree, bro, and this is why.
See, you know, he said I agree with you on that point, but this is where we disagree. No, man, goddamn praise that he made a solid point about Floyd. Yeah, everybody wants to reference Floyd, but when it comes to Crawford, his coach was giving him superb instructions. Crawford being a superb, top tier, pound for pound great. Them two matched up very well. As if you didn't see how lopsided it was, or one-sided, so to speak, or you know, with Roger Mayweather just saying what he was saying to Floyd, and him making that point, which was a solid point. But you just can't put with all that aside. Putting all that aside, this dude, he doesn't really credit the ones who say some real solid educational boxing shit. That they make a very great point. They should be praised for that. Briefly. But just don't say, yeah, I agree with you. But this is what I did. Man, come on, bro. Man, come on. Ego.
Regardless if y'all fuck with my channel and agree or disagree or
Where
whatever.
did that come from? Where did that come from, though? Dude just made a great point. But you want to say, regardless, y'all fuck with my channel. That has nothing to do with telling that man, hey, man, solid freaking point, bro. You right. Roger Mayweather did not say anything productive. So when you talking about transcending a freaking great trainer to a fighter, we can't say that Crawford was a subpar fighter and Bomac was a freaking elite trainer, and everything that he told Crawford, Crawford wouldn't have did anything to the feat for which he accomplished in his career if it wasn't for Bomac. Nobody's saying that. They do mention them together. It's like they work well together as a team. Also, they bring in the other team, Red Spike and Esau, and the whole team linking up together to make the success work. But then you look over here with Derrick James, who was told no more hiding. And up to that point, yes, he did have two unified champions, and he did look the part. But it definitely broke down when Jamel Charlo had to fight for that freaking undisputed the first time around, and he came up with a draw, luckily. You know what I'm saying? Now you got issues in the camp that these aerosexuals didn't want to talk about because nobody was really fucking with Jamel Charlo like that. They was fucking with EJ. But when all this shit was going on behind the scenes, people didn't want to talk about it because they was more so enamored with EJ. They didn't know the shit that what was going on with Jamel Charlo stepping out and going over there with Ronnie Shields. They didn't want to talk about that shit. But when Bomac told him no more hiding, he treated him like he never had a freaking undisputed champion in his camp. And you saw, if you would have listened to Diddy James, he didn't say, oh, what are you doing? You trying to act like I ain't never had. He know he couldn't take 100% credit. Just like IPADPAGER wouldn't give this guy 100% credit for making a solid point.
I would think y'all are all up here because, you know, we brothers in boxing and y'all like boxing like I do, whether you agree with the opinions or not. One thing I will say, though, and this is where we disagree, and this is why I'm excited to find out if you right, Ronnie, or Brim, or Terrence, or the homie, let me see, what's the homie name down here? Lightspeed. This is what I will say to you, bro. While I hear what you're saying, I don't think Terrence Crawford is anywhere close to Floyd Mayweather good, bro. So we gonna find out, because in my opinion, to beat what's in front of him, he gonna have to be every bit of what you just said Floyd was in those times. I think he gonna have to be that in this time, bro. And I don't see it because I don't think he Floyd good, bro.
Floyd good. First of all, Floyd wasn't good. He was great. and Terrence Crawford is considered great. Okay, so him being Floyd good, I can't say what you meant because I ain't speaking for you, nigga. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what you meant. You said in order for him to be, he gonna have to be Floyd good to come in here. So you trying to tell me, in order for Terrence Crawford on that day in question, July 29th, he would have had to be Floyd good to fight Errol Spence, who hasn't fought nobody on his record that would compare him to be in the conversation with Floyd? So you trying to tell me he's gonna up his game by beating Errol Spence to a level of a Floyd Mayweather based off a fighter that doesn't have any type of opposition on his resume that's comparable to Floyd Mayweather? How does that work? How does that shit work? How does a fighter with more championships, you put him in a conversation and say he has to be Floyd good to beat Errol Spence, when Errol Spence didn't perform as an Olympian in 2012. He lost his mojo. You know what I'm saying? After given a second opportunity, lost his mojo. That's his words. He lost his mojo. And then his record, trying to find out what division he wanted to compete in, all the way up to his fight with Alejandro. He decided, I'm going to compete in the 147-pound division right now. Now I'm going to put my stamp on it. He had to move all the way up, and we already know what happened in between. So you trying to tell me EJ was comparable to Floyd? And for Bud to be in conversation with Floyd? I mean, just to say he has to be Floyd good. Who is equating those numbers? What is the performance value that we're grading Errol Spence Jr. off his resume to say that Terrence Crawford is stepping in there with the fighter that's somewhat close or touching the freaking greatness of a Floyd Mayweather? Come on, bro. Come on. He got to be Floyd good? Nobody said Errol Spence was Floyd good.
Well, I mean, that's good coming from you.
Floyd good, bro.
I feel you. I just wish.
You know what I mean? Like when I see Floyd doing that shit with Roger and shit, and all the shit that he did, bro. Floyd was different, bro. Like
check this out, KO.
You know what I mean?
Let me see if Bram is going to correct him, because let's see if Bram going to correct him.
So we'll see, but let's do this, y'all, because I got to go to sleep for this monster anyway. And Cool Boy Steph fight. I want to get everybody's last word, but I want y'all to switch it up. Tell me who you got in the Monster Anyway and Cool Boy Steph fight and why you picking them.
No, I'll pass on that. You know what I'm saying? I will pass on that. But I want to show y'all this right quick. This is on below a post that I got up there when I pretty much put, this particular thumbnail up there, right? 0-68. So pretty much this is a second post. And if you read up there, It says, all I know is you have now put in, these amount of minutes. He's doing what I say. Him and his family is pretty much reciprocating how I said these guys spend all this time, and I did that breakdown per day, weeks, and then the months per annual. They're attempting to put that in simulation. I get it. You know what I'm saying? I'm smitten. You know what I'm saying? Thank you. Thank you. Please give me a super chat next time. It say you're well over 50 years old behaving like a child. So all of a sudden me reacting to a video is behaving like a child. But I've seen these cats like him yell and scream in their own home now. I'm talking about yelling and screaming in their own home. Now hopefully, I'm gonna say this might be you or it might not. It might be somebody else in your household that should be minding their fucking business. But to mention someone's age, what is that to me? That doesn't stop me from aging, just like it doesn't stop you from aging. You're getting older. It says link in the chat. I put the link in my chat. You don't show up. You just like putting that shit up there just for kudos. You know what I'm saying? So please, as I said, and keep talking about, you know what I'm saying? But you want to go over here and talk about somebody's age and them acting like a child when you yelling and screaming, and the very same people that hear you yelling and screaming, you're not standing in a place where you can't be heard. I don't have a routine where I got to get my head right before I go on here and talk. I'm not doing this shit for you. All I know is your catalog will never touch mine. All I know is you don't cover fights. All I know is you want to sit here where it's convenient for you and act like you some boxing scholar. All I know, use the Caucasian that came out talking about when you see me, you was gonna slap me. I never said anything about violence, but you was up there trying to act like somebody else and say, oh, I got two niggas that's on record as saying that they see me, they gonna slap me. And I'm saying you would die. That's what I'm saying. And then when I tried to call the motherfucker up, because I was giving his number, you want to talk about acting like a fucking child. This dude up act like he didn't even know who WCS was. Now you want to talk about bitch tendencies. He act like he didn't even know who I was on the phone, bro. But he's going on here, keep on talking about the link on the chat. Man to man shit. This shit don't make no sense. And you're commenting on my live stream. I'm not commenting on your videos. You're commenting over here and you're talking about someone acting like a child. Hey, I must remind you, at your age, I was already retired. I'm just letting you know, at your age, I was already retired. So whatever you was doing from the time that I was on the grind at 17, all the way up to my 30s, I didn't see you around. You probably was in that blowing snot bubbles, goddamn crying because your diaper's motherfucking wet, or whatever the fuck you was doing. But I am old enough to be your daddy. And truth be told, I ain't trying to play back. I ain't trying to pay no goddamn back child support for you either. I think you trying to reach out because in the military, we lay our head a lot of places. That's all I'm saying. And you giving me too much unneeded attention, bro. It's almost like you trying to send me a message. You trying to tell me something. I'm just going to put it out. I'm not your daddy. I'm not your daddy. Real talk. I'm not your daddy, bro. Let it go. Let it go. You put it out there. You came on live and you said call you. I hit you up, nigga, and you wanted to act like you didn't know who I was and hung up the phone. I got the text that you sent and said, hey, man, no, man, we should have did that. No, man, we should have did that. You should have did that. Man, don't lecture me. I'm a grown fucking man. Didn't you just say I'm in my 50s? Hold up for a second. Let me see. Hold up for a second, Shouty. Where you at? Where you is, man? I got the text. I got the text, man. Well, I ain't gonna look for it today, but I got his text, bro. And he tried to sit up here and lecture me like a little bitch. Tell me that's what you should have did when you called me. Man, I sat there and call you up as a man. You say man to man and all this other bullshit you talk. And then you act like you didn't know. So get out my comments, bro. I did you one better. I let your comments stay up there instead of deleting it. But you got to make up your mind, man. You have to make up your mind. You have to make up your mind. If y'all up there bragging, hey man, you played college and all that. Hey, dude, if you was anywhere close to a college, that's why I put that shit in my comments. I said this the iPad pager, right? I said Operation Ghostwriter. Stay on track and jettison any numeric insertions about how adults delegate authority, integrity without conscience, and arrogance without principle. Same person threatened to slap me for a complimentary eulogy. On God. Documentation is the key to any advanced education, when you say. I mean, there has to be some degree of higher learning in your 40 years drawing breath from your existence. And a good ass was, it's from an accredited institution, I might add. Reason I ask, you speak of such success, but many times have toppled the wagon, pouting in tantrums and total in tantrum with total strangers about opinionated topics. You're the author of pointless tirades and failed attempts to convince listeners your boxing IQ is higher than 68. In summation, because he loved talking about in summation, you're the proprietor of countless callow tangents, disrespecting innocent listeners who disagree with you, and addressing them disparagingly further proves how forlorn you truly are. You with family, those children demand your attention, not me. So make them your objective. And mine, you, I already retired at your age. That's where all your resentment saturates your reservoir of common sense. Because if you knew better, then you would know to stay out of grown folks' business. To elucidate in closing, link is in the chat, and I don't speak your name, IPADPAGER68. Are you answering to that now? Just checking. And that was my purposely sitting up here bloviating vernaculars, you know what I'm saying? Being a bit grandiloquent, you know what I'm saying, and grandiose with verbiage on purpose. I just wanted him to go to Google and look up some of that shit. But only thing I want to say to you, brother, I mean, my Caucasian counterpart, is that you're leaving comments, but you're talking about time. So it took you time to go over here and type under my video. You can't let it go. You don't have comments of me in your video. I don't even watch your shit. So therefore, stay over there. And if you feel some type of way about me doing a reaction to your video, all you had to do is click the link and let me know. That's all. The link has been in the chat. I pinned it to the top, bro. I pinned it to the top. Did I not? I pinned the link to the top, and iPad did not click the link because he want me to come over there where he can feel comfortable being in charge of that freaking access button to the panel. Look. This is the type of dude that kept a motherfucker in the background when they told him to come to the panel. Real talk. Kept him in the background. I remember the time I went over there, just kept me in the background, didn't even click the link. Saw me in the background until I come over there. They want to keep you in the background and act like they don't see you. Come on, bro. Don't nobody have time for that bitch assness, man. Don't nobody have time for that bitch assness, though. I'm not doing it. But I just want y'all to see that he's commenting under my video, not the other way around. He's coming under my video, not me coming on his. I did a reaction, but still I didn't leave no comment in his video. Shout out to everyone that pulled up though. Bomac took them to school. It's levels to it. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I want to get to let me get up here. I know Martin King Boxing. Shout out to Martin King Boxing, man, with the $2 super sticker. Salute to you, my brother. One love. Thank you for supporting the channel. Like I said, salute. One love to Christopher White for the donation in the Cash App. Salute to you, brother. One love, man. Everyone who pulled up. Everyone who pulled up, who support the channel. I appreciate the quality over quantity. You know what I'm saying? Boxing aficionados, motherfuckers who talk boxing and would never get on a panel talking some dumb shit like that. You know what I'm saying? God damn. All that shit about excuses did he himself made several for Spence losing. You know what I'm saying? Hey, if anybody, I know Bud gonna stop Canelo using them streets, man. You know what I'm saying? When just like I was when I was on these YTC, listening to all the shit, I couldn't wait to hear what they had to say in the on the day after. I couldn't wait to hear what they had to say. That's gonna hunt them for a while, bro. Shout out to Martin King Boxing with another $2 super chat, man. You can close the case, OG. He don't know shit about boxing. Man, he doesn't, man. That dude, you know, write shit down and want to repeat the same shit, but when he's trying to make an analogy, to prove, you know, his boxing knowledge. He just be sounding crazy out there, bro. And then he always want to act like he know the most boxing. He's the debate king. There's no debate king on here. People are not going to spend time debating over and over again on the same shit. And then when they was doing this shit with Crawford Spence, I say, how many times they going to debate Crawford Spence? And sure enough, they did it again just because I said it last year. They did it again. They had another debate with Crawford and Spence. Like it was going to make me feel some type of way. No. I was just going to sit back and listen. I say, wow, you want to talk about time? Look at the time you wasted doing the debate series. Look at the time you wasted doing a failed debate series where you and the other female got smoked. Y'all got smoked. Zone 6 destroyed you, had you hanging on to the muffler, and he was going 150 miles per hour on a gravel road. You was hanging on for your dear life, man. He smoked you. I got all the goddamn audio receipts to that shit. I noticed today Rolly Romero's ranked 45. He didn't go for Chaffin to rank 45. Hey man, what they did with Rolly, bro, is paid him back for getting Tony Weeks in there to save his ass, and then he went in there and goddamn found Mother Goose and helped her lay that egg against Esau Cruz. That's why he dropped to 45. Because they had already, they added in the fact that Tony Weeks saved him against Barroso, and he got that gift over there in Connecticut against Jackson Martinez. You know what I'm saying? That's what they did. They gave him back pay, Toby. They back paid him. That's what they did. They back paid Rolly, bro. Hey, no, you ain't getting away with that, Rolly. You ain't getting away with that, bro. We're going to back pay you. Penalty. Sir Senior in the building, what's good? Yeah, man, he wants somebody to come over there, man. You know what I'm saying? He wants somebody to come over there. He don't want to damn come over here. But yeah, so he has so much to say about what Bomac didn't do. You know, trying to say how is he gonna go up against an elite trainer. And see, that's when he just looked at the whole freaking team, and just like Diddy James, they just They just discarded them like they didn't have no freaking common boxing knowledge, bro. And you can't do that in combat. You can't just sit up here and say, "Oh, I don't like them. I'm really rocking heavy for a certain promotion." So I'm gonna say he don't know what he's talking about. You know what I'm saying? Just call Diddy James and get out on the roadway and run 3 miles, right? That they act like that's gonna affect Bomac from going in there and properly giving Crawford the instructions he needed, that in between rounds. And also, you can accredit Crawford the same way that Roger Mayweather's point was made. Yeah, he wasn't saying anything for Floyd to go back in there. Okay, all right, I hear you. You know what I'm saying? You have to make adjustments, and they're not gonna give Crawford his just due until he's retired on how well he made adjustments to his opponent. See, where IPADPAGER fucked up too was claiming that he was gonna come out orthodox and do the same shit. Even him not being in the gym, him not sitting back watching, like Shaw News said, he wouldn't know what to look for. He wouldn't know what to look for. Real talk. He wouldn't know what to look for. If Crawford's able to go in there and make changes on the fly, along with Bomac being in his corner, then you have to credit the fighter for having a certain level of IQ that benefits him to going in here defeating everybody the way he does. You just can't go in here and knock out top elite opposition, and then they come back over here to the YTC and say they wasn't shit to begin with. Everybody want to talk about Jose Benavidez, but he was undefeated when he fought Crawford. They always want to say he had one leg, but he was undefeated. He was undefeated, bro. He was undefeated. He went in that fight with Avanesian so he wouldn't be inactive. Dusted him in 6. But people try to talk about he was cheating with the gloves and all that. But then turn around when it comes time for the very same people to fight that same fighter. Yes, Crawford didn't let the fight go past the 6 because Igis Kavalauskas, a common opponent of Crawford, had already knocked out Avanesian, right? That just goes to show you how locked in he was. But when Jerron Ennis fought Avanesian, he couldn't stop him in 6. Did you hear all these videos out here? No. Did you hear them talking, that Ennis may be overrated? No. They weren't saying none of that shit. But they was up here dogging the shit out of Bud when he went and fought Avanesian. And this guy right here, the same thing to my, oh, he's a duck. Don't know shit about the business of boxing. All they want to do is come here and use grade school type of words like duck all the time. Just want to continue to use words, grade school, rudimentary type terms, and saying somebody ducking instead of looking at the business aspect of boxing. They'd be the ones if they would have tried their hardest to believe that, oh, okay, Crawford agreed to everything, but yet he dipped out of negotiations because he wanted the fight to happen in 2022, right? If he was to return to the sport after retiring and he's way past his prime, and he's coming back because he's broke, these very same people are going to be sitting up here like, see, I told you he was moving funny. I told you he was bad for business. See, he never should have took that Spence fight for net pay. He should have went and did something else and then made sure they came back and negotiated. No, that's exactly what happened. You all have to live with it. You all have to live with it that he did what he had to do and came back around, and him and Spence got their highest payday. Kudos to them brothers for doing business together. But the haters are going to talk about the concessions. They want to talk about the coin flip. They want to talk about shit that don't matter with the motherfucking results, dog. Shout out to ITC Boxing in the building. What's good with it, brother? I see you on deck. Shout out to one half of the apostles. Salute to you, bro. He said Zone 6 did his thing that came to the apostle. It was us again. Yeah. I mean, it was, hey, hey. I'm not saying every debate was bad, but when I saw her, That light skinned nigga get on there in the debate, I'll say trash, 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 trash. Him and Julian are trash debaters. Trash debaters, saying the same shit over and over and then want to debate about the same shit in order to get familiar with saying the same retreaded lines all the time. People got tired of hearing about Crawford Spence, Spence-Crawford, Crawford Spence. You know, people can goddamn know the words verbatim. You know what I'm saying? Oh, okay, he about to say this right here. He about to say that. I understand one thing. In closing, tell this hoe to stop them coming on my freaking thing, on my chat, talking about time wasted, because you're taking time and typing on my shit. That's all. You know, I would say, don't you have family to attend to? You know what I'm saying? Don't you have family to attend to? Where's your girl at? Where your kids? Go be a father. Go be a husband, bro. Leave grown folk alone. You didn't click the link for the second time. So stop talking about people wasting time and talking about age. That's shit you can't change. Like I say, you came over here talking about how much money you make. You're so well, you know what I'm saying, monetarily off. You wealthy, affluent. Okay. Why are you so miserable and unhappy? If you consider me to be a broke nigga, leave the broke niggas alone. You know what I'm saying? But hey, it's fight week. I mean, it's fight night tomorrow, man. Y'all hold it down. Continue to do what you do. Shout out to the hottest chat in the MF and game. Man, we got a hell of a freaking event. We're going to see if Edgar Berlanga can show up to the dance, man, and do something different. You know, I heard some people, that's going for Edgar to shock the world. That's amazing, though. That's amazing, bro. That Edgar, who look, he's in the same position they saying Crawford was in. Edgar has not had an opponent that come close to Canelo. But they're giving him all this credit for going in there shocking. When they gave Crawford, the haters didn't give him none. They're giving Edgar a chance when he doesn't have anybody on his resume close to a Canelo Alvarez. But they saying, hey, Edgar Berlanga said 6 rounds. I'm gonna put my 5 or 6 rounds. You know what I'm saying? Okay. You think boxing is in dire needs like that for them to allow a Buster Douglas moment to happen with Canelo? I mean, anything can happen, but I just don't think Edgar is going to be one of those individuals that shocks the world and rob the motherfucking bank. Look, I was looking at some of the freaking odds. I ain't gonna lie. Oh my God. Whoo. Hey, y'all hold that shit down, man. Until next time, man.